Morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Listen online, the website that rocks. That's KMOD.com. Past shows are available on iTunes. Search under BMMS. Listen with your cell phone. Get the iHeartRadio app. Available from the App Store of your cell phone provider. More on that at iHeartRadio.com. And we're on Facebook. Facebook.com/BMMS69. So you can hang out with us each and every day. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Well, good morning.
Tickets to Can't Tell You, but will later. How's it change?
Hooray!
Explain that later. Best and worst of the weekend. We'll find out the best thing that happened to you and the worst thing that happened to you. Woo! Our listeners are awesome. We'll talk to a listener. We will speak with Mr. Jeff Hensley as he is currently a victim of the airline industry. Gosh, nothing more joyful than getting stuck at an airport.
Hashtag truth.
No. Whew. We're traveling later this year as a family, and I'm taking my own water bottle this time.
Okay.
And I'm taking snacks.
For yourself? Or?
Yeah, for all of us.
Oh, okay.
Because
like for you're not going to share with kids, nobody,
No.
or okay.
Because I don't want to get stuck paying $7 for Fruit Loops
Amen.
Truth.
or $5 for a water bottle. So we'll talk to Jeff later. If you got a question about divorce, custody, guardianship, any of those things, he can answer them and will at 9. And we're qualifying people for golf and beer for a year. Listen every hour with us to qualify. We just qualified.
Tyler Young, a Broken Arrow.
Congratulations, Tyler. He's in the running. Could win a case of Corona Premier Light Beer and a round of golf for 2 at Birdie Bay every month for the next 12 months. And we're going to be doing that giveaway this week. And we've got something fun planned, hopefully. It's all from Corona Premier Light Beer and Birdie Bay, where it's always golf weather. It is hot as balls outside.
Yep.
What? No.
And growing up, I remember my mom in the summer, I'm sure a lot of people have this memory, is she would buy this colorful jar, sometimes even use a mason jar, and put water and tea bags in it.
Yeah. Sun tea.
And make sun tea.
Yeah.
Huh.
We
No.
do just tea bags.
You don't know anything about this?
No.
What?
I don't.
Have you ever even heard of it?
No.
What?
You've never heard of sun tea?
Never.
Like
Never.
ever?
Like ever.
Wow.
Like ever?
Like ever.
Forever,
Ever.
ever?
Never.
Really?
No.
Even in Iowa, my mom did this.
Yeah, we did it in California.
Sure.
Do
I was
it.
just under the idea of like her being in Indiana that like maybe they were like, we don't get that much sun, but we did it in Iowa. So it's not like there wasn't
No.
summer.
Yeah. You just let it sit out there and let it brew itself all day long.
Yeah. The idea is you take this jar, they have like a spigot on the front, you buy them at Walmart or whatever, glass, plastic, whatever it looks like. And it had like some summery design on it or spring design on it or whatever filigree. And you put the tea bags in it, water, and let it sit out there in the morning till 4 or 5 o'clock, and you'd have tea.
Huh.
And then you would put it in the thing, and that was summer. That's a core summer memory for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So it would just brew itself.
Yes.
Mhm.
The sun would brew it, Lindsay.
Interesting.
How about them apples?
Interesting.
No, tea. How about that tea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well,
Okay.
apparently not a good idea to do this.
Oh,
Why not?
well, my mom was
The
smarter than the rest.
CDC says the danger zone is anywhere between 40 and 140 degrees for bacteria growth.
Okay.
And there's no way your jar of sun tea can get up past 130.
Hmm.
And so you're essentially have created a brewing center for bacteria.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. I guess it makes sense. I drank a lot of it. Didn't have any issues.
Ooh.
That you know of.
Well, I know explosive
Careful.
diarrheas. Never got barfed
that
on
you
it,
don't remember,
know?
you don't recall, right? Like you may have gotten sick,
Mhm.
but you may not have drawn the line to that. Well, come on, you got sick as a kid.
Well, yeah, I got sick as a kid. But when you drink something that's riddled with bacteria, when you eat something that's riddled with bacteria, it hits you almost immediately, if not within a 24-hour time period. Okay, it's not like I drank this and then I got sick because of it a week later. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you're right, absolutely 100% right. Got sick as a kid. We all did, but not because of the bacteria riddled tea.
Sometimes that's the reaction you have when you have bacteria.
Okay.
Food poisoning, what you're talking about, yes.
Okay.
That's different.
Okay.
Right? If you introduce certain amounts of over bacteria, your body may have the runs. You may not have the runs.
Maybe I just got a killer immune system that said, "Caca, you get nothing today."
No, I'm just trying to say that it isn't food poisoning like your example of you have it within 24 hours. You can get sick and be sick and not even know it, right? If you have the runs one time, you may go, okay, I have the runs, but that usually is because there's a bacteria that your body's trying to get rid of.
Right, because of something that you ate, the bacteria that's in the food or drink or whatever.
But this is saying that you shouldn't do that. It even goes on to say that you should do sun tea in the fridge. You shouldn't be making it outside at all. It makes a better tea.
How you get the sun inside your fridge?
Well, I mean, I'm just using that. They wouldn't call it that. And if you're Jeffrey Dahmer, very easily.
Right. Okay. I use the cold brew tea. I used to, be the guy that boiled water and da-da-da-da-da-da, but it's just much easier. Fill up the pitcher, teabag your water, and let it sit there for, a couple hours.
But here's the whole point for all this, because the comments are fire. It doesn't matter. It's tea.
Yeah.
You may drink a tea and go, oh, that's good. Oh, that's okay. But you never go, tea. Unless you're British, maybe. Tea is tea. I've rarely had tea and been like, that's a better tea than the other tea.
See, I've never been a fan of tea or sweet tea, but I've heard that when you're down in Georgia,
of course,
you got to have the sweet tea.
Sure, of course.
Because it's a game changer.
Sure, of course.
It's just chock full of sugar is all it is. It's the amount of sugar that you put in. And I'll tell you, brands are different. Lipton, at least in my opinion anyway, is better than Louisiana, right? It's better than
Who would have guessed?
Red Diamond. Red Diamond is trash, garbage, effing tea. All right. My roommate, I love it. That is hot garbage. I'd rather piss in a jug and then drink that as opposed to drink Red Diamond tea. Milo's, same way. And maybe it's because it's mass produced. That's probably what the problem is. I don't like that. I make my own stuff fresh, but I've been a Lipton guy ever since the beginning. I've tried other ones. I've tried Louisiana's. I've tried your off brands, Always Save, Your Best Choice, stuff like that. Wow, Lipton, they know what's up on the tea.
Crazy.
I am dumbfounded that you are a tea whore. You're a tea Karen.
Bro,
connoisseur of the teas.
That's all we drank growing up. My mom, she was not a coffee drinker. She was a tea drinker. And it was one of those, you better have that damn tea jug filled up by the time I get home or it's somebody's ass. Because there was not, she come home, maybe like a little bit, like some people, they'll leave just a little sploosh at the bottom of the milk carton or whatever. Oh, she get pissed over that, So the rule was, drink all you want. Just make sure there's a full jug by the time I get home. All right, then.
Let me rephrase my statement. I share no opinion on tea. I have other things to have opinions on. Tea is not one I'm willing to rather drink my own urine over, Lindsay. That is not, I have zero passion for tea. That's a new one from Gimpy. He was getting a little heated too.
A little bit. I'm
A little
defensive
bit.
about my teas. I'm not a big fan of hot tea either. It has to be cold.
Yeah.
I could do like a room temperature tea, but like hot tea, like drinking like hot coffee, no, thank you. Like the British do.
I've learned so much in the past 10 minutes between Lindsay's never heard of sun tea.
Never.
And Gimpy is a whore, bitch, whiny complainer about tea.
Get that disgusting Louisiana sweet tea out of here.
The only tea I like is Crystal Light. And that
That's
comes
not
in those
tea.
packets.
That's
Yeah,
not tea.
exactly.
That's Kool-Aid.
Exactly.
Mixes well with vodka, though.
There you have it.
Somebody said mix your vodka with your tea. That'll kill any of the bacteria.
Yeah, right? Sure. No. I've had the sweet tea vodka before. Not a big fan.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's got alcohol. The only reason you would ever do that is because you're like, I got to have a different vessel for my alcohol.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I can get away with this while at work or whatever.
It isn't like the first time you have a Moscow Mule or a gin and tonic or whatever that is for you. Then you go, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't drink any tea with vodka and go, oh.
No, you say, whoa, what is this hot garbage? Ugh.
I lived in Georgia for 10 years. Their sweet tea's just super sweet, like a cup of sugar dumped in the boiling water. It's practically syrup. Yeah.
Truth.
I don't love sweet tea.
My brother does, my older one. He has to have his like that. Me, not so much. I'm more towards the unsweetened, but not like completely unsweetened. Gotta have a little bit in there.
I'm always fascinated when you go to a restaurant and you're like, I want tea. And they're like, sweet or unsweet? And I'm like, well, I said tea. I didn't say sweet tea.
Right.
To me, it's like sweet tea is a separate thing. It's tea, sweet tea, soda, lemonade. Like they're all their own identifier.
I guess that makes sense, yeah.
It's just like when you order a coffee, they're going to ask.
Nope. No, it is not. Those are added things you put in after the fact. Sweet tea is its own standalone thing.
No, but caffeinated or decaf.
That's funny you say that. I have never been asked at a restaurant. And when I ask for coffee, they've never asked for me, do you want caffeinated or decaffeinated?
Really?
Never.
But they
never.
do that with the sweet tea, regular tea or sweet tea.
Huh.
You're right, Gimpy. They don't ask about coffee.
You have to go out and ask for decaffeinated coffee. And then they'll look at you like you just crapped on the floor because who the hell drinks decaf?
Right, now I got to brew some.
Right.
Maybe it depends on the time of day. Like if it's really late at night or.
I've had it at
when
all
you're ordering
hours
a
of the day.
coffee.
I've had it at 2:00 in the morning after the bars close. I've had it at, 11, 12 o'clock after I've gotten up after the bars have closed, even in the evening times. And they've never said, hey, would you like decaf, regular or decaf? I guess I'm assuming that's how they would ask.
But they ask sweet. Every time you ask for tea, they're like, sweet or unsweet?
Every time.
I just want tea. Unleaded. I don't even know, why. Do that many people order sweet tea? I also think sweet tea kind of falls into that category of fried okra. Like you only do it because it makes you feel more Southern or some BS.
I just don't like the unsweetened tea. It's just too,
Yeah.
it's got a bite to it.
I'd rather have soda or pop.
Whatever they
Wherever
call
you're
it.
from, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're from the South, it's Coke, no matter what it is. Pepsi, Coke.
Or Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper, Coke. Mr. Pibb, Coke.
Yeah.
I just want a Coke.
Yeah. So sweet sun tea, bad for you, just so you know. Don't be doing that out in the sun. You that and gas stoves, bad. All right, we got to take a break. We got tickets to give away to something I can't tell you about, House of Chains, and then we've got best and worst of the week, and we'll do as well. News quickies when we come back. Shocked.
If a picture is crooked hanging on the wall, I'll straighten it.
Why?
No.
Why? It's not yours.
Exactly.
Nope.
Because I'm sure that it wasn't supposed to be crooked.
You don't know that. Some people like things off kilter like that.
I'll even mention it. Fix that.
Oh, that's rude. That's like the cliche of a mom coming in like, your pictures aren't straight.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ma.
Another one. Expecting a tour.
Oh, yeah.
You don't walk in and be like, give me a tour.
No, I don't.
I totally do. I love snooping around.
Because I don't want someone to do that to me. Because what if your bedrooms aren't clean or the bathroom's not clean?
Then they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Furthermore, Susan, they shouldn't be having company over if that's the case. Bedroom, maybe. Right? Bathrooms, though, clean that ass up if you're having company come over.
Another one. Overstaying your welcome.
Right.
How long? What's the good amount of time to stay at someone's house?
Depends on what the activity is.
Yeah.
Let's say dinner.
Oh, okay.
Couple hours.
2 hours after dinner. After 2 hours.
So you still at 6, 8, get out.
Because now it's time for the family to wind down.
Yeah.
and start doing their own nightly routine.
And I think it depends on who it is too. Like you always know, I think, depending on which friend it is.
Snooping.
Oof.
Yeah.
Opening the cabinet
Yeah, you
to
don't
look
do
through the
that.
medicine cabinet. You feel like you give the vibe that you do that.
No, I don't do that.
Okay, it's not an insult. I'm just saying it
Yeah.
gives a vibe.
Why? What
Because
gives
you're
you that
nosy.
vibe?
You're very nosy.
What makes me nosy?
Well, you'll walk into a room when a conversation's happening going, wait, what are we talking about?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You love knowing other people's gossip?
Yeah. I'll watch those gossip shows.
No, I'm
That's what
talking
they're
like
there
personal
for.
gossip. I'm not talking about TV shows.
Yeah, if we're here, I don't want to miss out on anything, for sure.
Yeah, that's nosy.
Yeah.
Bringing an uninvited +1.
Yeah. Because now you're forcing the other people to like entertain somebody they don't know. It just makes
Right, or
everything
don't
Yeah.
like.
exactly. And it's not your place to be inviting somebody else over.
Feeding their dog.
Huh? Oh, like table scraps or something?
I think that's what they mean,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you'd be like, where's your chow chow so I can put it in the
Mhm.
bowl? Yeah, some people do that. Some people think that because they feed their dogs table scraps or popcorn or whatever,
Yeah.
that they can do that with your dog.
That's good that your dog's stomach has adapted to that, but now you're going to make your friend's dog crap all over their house because it's not used to that.
Showing up empty-handed.
I don't think that's that bad. I mean, do I have to bring potato salad every time I come over?
No?
Exactly.
No, I always take something.
Yeah, I always take a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Always.
All right. I usually got my medicine on me, so that just works out perfectly.
Yeah, but that's not extra, right? Like you said, it's like offering him a cigarette.
Right. I don't have to share with you, though. That's the thing. I don't have to.
Yes, but you're not going out of your way is the point, right?
Listen, I'm the guy that goes to Walmart and gets the cookies for the potluck that we're having here at work, okay? You expect more from me?
Yeah, I think if you go to someone's house and they're making, like, let's just say dinner still,
Mhm.
you got to take something.
Yeah.
I did. I brought
Even
my
a
appetite.
dessert or wine, whatever.
Yeah.
Something.
It's just manners, Gimpy, right?
Right. Yeah, sure.
No?
Listen, y'all invited me over. Okay, cool. I'll come over and have dinner. That's all right. Doesn't mean I have to bring a bottle of wine or a 6-pack or a bottle of anything for that fact. That's that. Unless you say so. Hey, BYOB, bring a bottle, bring a side item. We'll get the main course. That happens to me a lot. We got the main courses. Come on over for barbecue, whatever. Bring a side item. All right, cool. Tater salad it is.
I've never gone to someone's house and like looked around and said to myself, that's so dirty here.
Oh.
Ugh.
Wow.
What do they have lives? Right? I don't go, their sheets, they didn't even make their bed. I don't do all that.
Oh, I bet you
Look
have.
down my
No.
nose at you.
Because life happens.
Depends on the level of the filth, right? If you walk into somebody's house,
If you're
and
a
it looks like
hoarder?
hoarders, yeah, exactly.
I ain't going to your house. I already
Yeah.
know you're a hoarder.
But this is the first time you didn't realize that they were disgusting people or hoarders until you walk into their house,
oh,
right?
no. You
get
can read a
totally
hoarder a
thrown
mile
off guard.
away. No, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
Hoarder.
Yeah, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
You just tell by the way they dress, their lack of showering.
Or by their vehicle.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, right? I think absolutely.
But you still don't say anything. You just kind of watch where you sit down, maybe scooch the newspapers or whatever,
Yeah.
paper plates with leftover pizza rolls on them and hang out for a little bit. And I got to go. I got it.
If I'm going to judge, I'm judging, like, I'm going to judge the food. So I'm not going to judge, like, hey, your bed wasn't made.
No.
I'm going to judge, oh my God, you served Brussels sprouts or whatever that is.
Right.
I'm not going to get all like, ugh, you didn't clean for my arrival.
Right. Right. 'Cause you're right. Life happens,
Life
especially
happens.
if you've got small children.
Oh, and you're having a dinner party.
Right. You can expect toys to be all over the place. Now, there's a difference between, a little clutter, kids don't know how to pick up their toys, and your house looks like Ross, dress for less. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I would think if you're hosting a dinner party, you would want to clean up.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
But that's not necessarily true, especially if you're like, hey, come over tonight. We're having pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza feels like there's no cleaning happening.
Yeah, it's okay to have your laundry still piled up on the back of the couch from like 4 days.
Yeah, you should at
No.
least pick it up and throw it on your bed.
Yeah.
Right? Give me a place to sit.
Right. Just move the panties over. It'll be fine.
It's always like I've gone and I stopped getting in the car with this person when I went to get in their car and they're like, hold on. And they had to like unload a bunch of stuff from the seat and the floorboard into the back seat so I could sit down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you invited me to get in your car.
You should have had that fixed up beforehand.
Or
Right.
just don't invite me into your car.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Right? If you don't have a place for me to sit, what are you doing inviting me over?
I just like the company.
I'm not a charity. Yeah. So that would be, I'm judging food. What do you judge? What's your judge when you go to someone's house? If it's like
Cleanliness.
cleanliness.
Mhm.
Probably. Yeah. Especially if you're having a dinner party.
Yeah, I might do that too.
Uh-huh.
Gimpy?
Definitely cleanliness. Now, it doesn't have to be sparkling like you walk in and everything's ting, 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 no. But if you're inviting people over, dinner party, or just to hang out and have a smoke sesh, you might want to just kind of pick up the bulk of
Smoke
things
sesh.
first.
You're so
Right.
bougie.
Yeah.
You're going over get high and you're like, man, the house was so dirty.
Yeah.
So dirty.
Well, yeah, if you gotta, you can't put your soda down or your water down on the table because it's littered with empty cans. then,
Right.
yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
talking about, man.
Yeah.
Go get a damn trash bag,
But if-
clear off the tables, and it'll be fine.
Yes.
I'm not saying you have to run the vacuum.
Right.
All right. Just don't make people come in and be like, oh God. Oh God. And furthermore, Susan, if it smells a little bit, just spray something. Just spray something in the air. You don't want to walk into somebody's house and get hit with
Morning, it's the Big Man Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. News quickies are stories you may have missed in the news, but we cover them here and put a link on our Facebook page if you want more. Facebook.com/BMMS69.
It's time for News Quickies, world news, local news, and news that just makes you say, what the Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with what's going on. News Quickies from the Big Man Morning Show at 97.5 KMOD.
Maine man accused of making threats with a rifle in Burger King drive-thru.
Like a man from Maine or my main man?
Man from Maine. 44-year-old Gabriel Roger Perone McCusick of Brunswick was arrested Friday night in Portland, Maine, around 7 o'clock in the evening. He was charged with criminal threatening with a dangerous weapon, failure to submit to arrest or detention, illegal possession of a firearm, and creating a police standoff. What had happened was this guy shows up in the Burger King drive-thru and to the employee working the window, shows her his AR-15 rifle. She says he flicked it and says she would get her later.
He flicked it?
Uh-huh.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
He flicked it. Like he
I
went.
don't know if
he
he
went.
cocked it. I don't know.
Like he went like this.
Yeah, right.
Hello, trouble.
Uh-huh. Then says, I'll get you later. And then he drove to the parking lot. The suspect remained in a standoff with authorities until about 9:50 p.m. The AR-15 rifle with a double-stacked magazine containing nearly 60 rounds of ammunition was found in his vehicle. He was then taken to a Portland hospital with minor injuries. He was later booked into the Cumberland County Jail without bail. 2 officers received minor injuries during the arrest and were treated at the scene by emergency medical services personnel, said the police department.
He looks drunk.
Yeah, he does.
Maybe he was.
A little
Yeah.
cray.
Yeah. I mean, the the Whopper's fine. Chicken sandwich is pretty delish.
My kids love those
Yeah.
chicken fingers.
Chicken,
The chicken
yeah.
fries,
Chicken
I think they're
fries.
called.
Yes.
Chicken fries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. It's just a short runway is what I'm saying when it comes to
Mhm.
BK.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't have much. Their fries are all right, I guess, but McDonald's got them beat.
I'm a fan of the Whopper. Yeah, with cheese every time.
Drone using peeping Tom has been arrested. This comes out of Rhode Island. Yes, news out of Rhode
Are we
Island.
doing New England today?
I guess.
So.
There's this gal. She was getting ready, get in the shower, end her night, when she heard this buzzing outside. And she's like, what the hell is that? Goes outside to check because she thought it was her pool. So she goes in the backyard. And that's when she spotted this drone hovering in front of her bathroom window. I guess the drone operator realized the jig is up and the drone flies up. There it goes. But it crashed into a tree because apparently he's not a very good pilot. So she grabs the drone, throws it in her pool to destroy said drone, calls the police. Police come out. Somehow they trace the drone back to a guy named Christopher Jones, who is a convicted sex offender. They went and talked to him. He admitted to flying the drone, was taken in for 1 count of video voyeurism.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Right?
Well, it's not me. I'm not leaving my property.
Right. Exactly. I'm just buzzing my drone around the neighborhood.
How are they going to track it back to me?
Right.
I didn't even know they could do that.
I didn't know either until I read that. I was like, well, that's interesting. I wonder how they did it. It didn't say how they did it, but I wonder how they did it.
Maybe it had a sticker on it that said property of Christopher Jones.
Possibly.
Right. If found,
Returned
this
to
address. Dumbass.
12 hospitalized after pool chemicals.
Uh-oh.
12 people have been hospitalized over the weekend at a public pool in Texas that was over-chemicaled or over-chlorinated. Police say exposure happened Saturday afternoon at the Lazy River swimming pool in Houston. Fire Chief Samuel Pena said at least 7 children and multiple adults were hospitalized from a, quote, over-chlorination in the pools. An investigation into how the pool became over-chlorinated is ongoing. While the patient's exact conditions are unknown, common side effects from chlorine overexposure can include burning of eyes, nose, or throat. How is that? When I saw that was the side effect to know if it's over-chlorinated, I can't even name the number of pools I've been in where that happens.
Seems like it anyway, because like there's some you get into, it just smells as soon as you walk into the area. You just smell the chlorine.
Or you can visually see when a pool is over chlorinated. Yeah, because the color will be not clear. It'll be either cloudy or it could be green. Or sometimes there will be what'll look like almost like a film. Or if you get into a pool and it'll get bubbly.
See, you're the expert here. So I would assume if it was green or had a film, it would need more chlorine.
Right.
And sometimes that is the case. Sometimes it's it's hit or miss. That's why they have the chemical testing kits. So easy. Just a little stick that you put in and you can follow the labels. That was the easiest thing to do for me when I was taking care of a pool, but it just seems silly to not use those.
I just don't. I don't know at what point you involve the authorities. Like, how bad does the burning have to be?
Yeah.
Right. Like, even after you get out, you're like, oh my God, my eyes are on fire. And then like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes later, they're still on fire, I guess. I don't know. Or as soon as you jump in, your skin turns red, like it's going to melt off.
Yeah.
The only time we've been to Great Wolf Lodge down in Dallas, it hurt my eyes. Like I wasn't opening my eyes underwater.
Right.
It was giving me LASIK.
Just the gases that's burning off.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. And my kids were swimming. They were complaining it was hurting to the point where we had to stop and go back to the room and wash their eyes out.
Oh man, that ruins a good trip.
Yeah.
Great Wolf just.
It probably wasn't just chlorine that was the chemical that was burning these people.
Okay.
It was they probably had something in there like a high intense fungal something, like you know what I mean? Like something, there was more than chlorine, because chlorine, yes, it'll burn your eyes, but it shouldn't be like that bad.
Well, I wonder why they would say over-chlorinated then if it was something else.
Yeah, it was
Lobbying from the
probably
chlorine industry.
maybe
Right.
shock or something. Because they say you shouldn't swim after shocking a pool
Yeah,
for
you
like
got
up to
24
12 hours or
hours, yeah.
something. Yeah.
Oh, I don't. Is it 24 hours? I don't know.
I think it's like more like 12.
Could be. I always waited
Yeah.
a whole day. Like when I had the pool, I'd just do it on a Monday. Pool shut down until Tuesday.
Right. You had that
Mhm.
pool you guys put in the backyard.
Yeah. And it seemed to work out fine for me anyway. I mean, yeah. I learned that from the apartment complexes because they would do it on Mondays. They would shut down the pool on Mondays and then open it back up on Tuesdays. So when I got mine, I was like, well, that makes good sense. Makes good sense. Just make one day.
All these stories are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/BMMS69.
More of the
Lindsay.
5.
0.
Oh my gosh.
I know it sounds crazy, but like when it comes to like the Big Ten of restaurants and foods and stuff, Italian's at the bottom of that list for me, man.
Somebody texted in and said, you think Zio's is delicious? You got to try Luigi's and Sky Took. So authentic. I think it's run by the actual Italian mob. I've had Luigi's and Sky Took. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. I like, it's not like I go to Zio's and I order one of everything.
Right.
Right. I worked there after college
Mhm.
and their 5 cheese pasta, adding chicken to it was so good.
Yeah.
Their spinach artichoke dip, which isn't Italian, whatever, but it was so good.
Mm-hmm. I just like the brown paper on the tables that give you crayons.
The
you can
cannoli,
draw.
yeah, I know how to write my name upside down. Cannoli, with the Alfredo and the chicken stuff, so good there.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you the Italian dish, the cannoli. That's delicious just because it's cheese and powdered sugar.
No. That's the dessert.
I know.
Yeah, I'm
I
talking
know.
about.
That's the only Italian food that I really like is a good old cannoli.
We haven't gotten to the real one. Pizza.
I've said it before, and y'all thought I was crazy.
1 to 10.
1 to 10, a pizza. That's
10.
gonna be a 3 for me. So low on the scale, man.
Lindsay.
10.
Yeah.
Always.
Pretty much all those except peppers and onions that we've mentioned
Uh-huh.
are about anywhere between an 8 and a 10 for me.
Really?
See, I love peppers and onions. I don't love the heartburn, but man, it's almost worth the heartburn for me.
A good bolognese pasta.
Mm.
Well, Italian food. They are the Beatles for me.
A nice
Of the
short
food.
short rib braised ragu.
Ragu, the sauce in a jar.
So it's just no, so good. I'm telling you, man, Italian food.
I like Young Sheldon way more than the Big Bang Theory.
If you ever say that again, I'm going to call the HR department.
Why?
That
Big
is
Bang
the
Theory
most
is a
offensive
giant turd.
That's the most offensive thing I think I've ever heard you
Young
say.
Sheldon it's not the greatest, but it's better than Big Bang Theory.
I am so disappointed in you right now. You've done some things that are pretty crazy, and this might be the most disappointing thing I've ever heard you say.
He was the executive producer of Cowboys and Aliens.
I feel like you and I run in succession on a lot of things, but this Young Sheldon thing has got me twisted.
Have you ever watched an episode?
I've watched enough to go, no.
If I gun to my head, you got to choose one, Young Sheldon or Big Bang Theory. I'm going to choose Young Sheldon, man.
No, I'm still a no. I'll
You
pick Big Bang.
Just shoot. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the girl, she's so hot.
Yeah, but
Kaylee Cuoco.
But everything else about that show negates her hotness.
I can turn it down.
It doesn't matter. You still got all those other
Doesn't
dorks.
matter.
David from Roseanne and, the old Sheldon. And I'm just like, yeah.
Her and David are the best characters on that show.
I'll give you that. But for the most part, the show is.
By the way, there's some people right now just so twisted it up. I didn't pick the Bazing guy or whatever.
Whatever.
I don't even know his name.
I never watched either one of those.
I find that shocking.
Yeah. I pick Roseanne over either one of those.
I figured
Well,
you would
shows.
be in that market there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think you're off a couple decades with Roseanne.
No, or the Connors. I'll watch the Connors over.
Again,
Either
I think the
one.
Connors came way late, like almost at the very end
Oh,
Yeah.
the Big Bang?
of Big Bang. Yeah.
Okay.
And the other one that she was on with John Ritter. yeah.
Parents?
No.
Rules dating my teenage
Yes,
daughter, something
yes.
like that. 16
Nice.
rules to dating my teenage daughter
Yes.
or something. Yeah.
Yes.
Had Peggy Bundy in it as well.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know that show either.
Yeah, that one was good. Because she played the blonde daughter that you like from
Yeah.
Big Bang. She played his daughter on that.
8 Simple Rules was the
Yes,
name
that
of
was
it.
it.
He
And
doubled
I
it.
had to check it. That was a good
16.
series. That was a good
36
series.
rules.
was.
How many rules you need to date your teenage daughter
Yeah.
is, arbitrary. This
Infinite.
guy needed 8. I need like 32.
8. What were the rules of the show for dating the
I
daughter?
don't think they ever said.
I don't
Oh,
either.
come on.
I don't think they ever said.
Come on.
No, I don't think they ever did.
There had to have been. There had to have been rules, right?
Surely. All right. Here we go. All right.
That you found it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it had to have been
There
widely
actually
known.
were.
There's a wiki here, so give me just a minute
Okay.
because it says something like bring her home before midnight or something like that.
To me, if you name a show that, it's gotta. There better be at some point you play that out,
Mm.
right?
Right.
Smallville, the TV show Smallville took place
All right.
in Smallville, right?
Sure.
Roseanne, it was about Roseanne,
Right.
right? They had to rename it the Connors because Roseanne wasn't on it anymore.
That's right.
Like, you can get in here, you racist bitch. All right, so here's the rules. 8 simple rules for dating my teenage daughter.
From the show.
From the show.
Okay.
Use your hands on my daughter and you'll lose them after. That's rule number 1.
John Ritter is hardly that guy.
Right?
Really.
He might be the nicest character ever on any show, ever.
But that's what they want us to believe.
I think only
What?
one time he played a character that was really bad, evil.
Okay.
He mostly was the good golly gee guy.
Wow, even on Problem Child, he was
Yeah.
a good dad.
Yeah. He was like he could have been on the SNL. Like he was a what do they call it when a comedian they like hurt themselves and stuff like that? He's that type of comedian.
Okay. Like Chris Farley was,
Chris
where
Farley,
he'd fall over on tables and it wouldn't bother him any at all.
Yeah.
But that's what they want you to believe. Maybe deep down inside, he's really just a mean
Sure,
asshole.
who he is off screen is yeah, but we're talking about the character.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. The character is like, oh, we're such a nice guy or whatever, 99% of the time, but you get that 1% that's never shown.
But
you know,
it's kind of like when Kevin Hart threatens you, you go, come on, man.
Yeah.
You don't know he's this badass muscle guy.
Right. All right. So number 2, you make her cry, I make you cry.
Again, not on brand with John Ritter.
Number 3, safe sex is a myth. Anything you try will be hazardous to your health.
That's just bad parenting. That's just, I mean, they're going to have sex, right? So now you're turning them away from practicing safe sex.
Right now they're going to do it just to spite you,
Yeah.
Dad.
Well, it's not safe.
He's going to raw dog it just to spite your dad.
God, that word is so awesome. I hate it and love it at the same time.
All right. So number 4, you're looking at bring her home late. There's no next date. Notice how everything rhymes with these rules.
That's on John Ritter brand.
Yeah. Number 5, if you pull into my driveway and honk, you better be dropping off a package because you're sure not picking up anything else.
Who delivers stuff to your house? Who delivers stuff in honks?
I don't know.
No,
Usually they
UPS,
knock on the
no,
door,
no one.
ring a doorbell.
For us,
something like
DoorDash,
Right.
Domino's in the time like that. No, that's not a
Sure.
thing.
that. It says alternative rule number 5, only delivery men honk, dates ring the doorbell once. That was his alternative to the number 5.
Okay.
Honking.
Oh, okay.
All right, so number 6, no complaining while you're waiting for her. If you're bored, change my oil. Change, not check.
Mm.
I don't know. If you know who John Ritter was, he might mean
He did
something
play a
completely
little
different.
fruity fruit on Three's Company.
Word?
At least to Mr. Furley, Mr. Roper, he
They
was.
believe
he was,
exactly.
exactly.
Yeah. Number 7, if your pants hang off your hips, I'll gladly secure them with my staple gun.
Mm.
What
Yes.
a dick.
assault.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, not on brand for
Nope,
John Ritter.
not at all.
And lastly, here, number 8 for 8 simple rules of dating my teenage daughter. Dates must be in crowded public places. You want romance? Read a book.
I like it.
Again, that might be the most on brand of all of them
Yeah.
for John Ritter.
Yeah.
I had to look up whether or not John Ritter ever played a bad guy. And the only one I found was his role in the film Bad Santa. Bob Chapesca.
With Billy Bob Thornton?
Yes.
Was he still alive at that time? I mean,
In
apparently the internet says so, but
2003.
okay.
He was out to expose him for the hard drinking, offensive brute that Billy Bob Thornton's role was.
Sure enough.
Yeah.
Sure enough. And John Ritter died in 2003.
Mhm.
Wow. So shortly after he did that, I guess.
Yeah.
How about that?
I feel like I saw him in a because he was in Sling Blade, if I remember correctly, too. Like he was the friend, he was the father of the boy. Was he evil in that?
I don't think so. Maybe.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But Problem Child, we know him as.
Yeah.
I feel like there was he played Roy Slade. Is that right?
In Sling Blade? No.
No. Oh, he was the priest.
Mm.
That feels on brand for John Ritter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who had John Ritter on there? What they'll talk about today? Bingo card.
Yeah, not me.
Nobody. I found some myths about serial killers.
Oh, fun.
All serial killers are men. That is a myth.
Well, yeah.
Reality is that it's just not true. As of late of 1998, a highly regarded former FBI profiler said there are no female serial killers. The news and entertainment media also perpetrate the stereotypes that all serial killer offenders are male and that women do not engage in horrible acts of violence. The lethality of a female fatale is presented in book or film. She's most often portrayed as the manipulated victim of a dominant male.
Mm.
The reality concerning the gender of serial killers is quite different from the mythology of it. There have been many more male serial killers than females throughout history. The presence of female serial killers is well documented in crime data. We pointed that out when we did our list the other week.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, approximately 17% of all serial killer homicides in the U.S. are committed by women. Only 10% of total murders in the U.S. are committed by women. Therefore, relative to men, women present a larger percentage of serial murders than all the other homicide cases in the U.S. How about that? All serial killers are Caucasian. That is a myth as well. They span all racial and ethnic groups. The racial diversity of serial killers is generally mirrors that of the overall U.S. population.
Okay.
So they're not always white. All serial killers are isolated and dysfunctional loners. We're led to believe that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the film Red Dragon, the Tooth Fairy serial killer. Real life serial killers are not the isolated monsters of fiction, and frequently they do not appear to be strange or stand out from the public in any meaningful way.
Look like normal everyday people.
Yeah.
I.e. Ted Bundy.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
John Wayne Gacy.
Fourth myth, all serial murderers travel widely and kill interstate. So that's not true. The most infamous serial killer, Ted Bundy, is the rare exception who traveled and killed interstate. Bundy twice escaped from police custody and committed at least 30 homicides in states of Washington, Utah, Florida, Colorado, Oregon, Idaho, California.
Yeah, I kind of guess that makes sense. I mean, if you're killing people, the bodies are going to start stacking up in your hometown. Right? So it's like, let's move around, try just not to get caught sort of thing.
Yes, but again, that's a myth. That they... Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. This morning I was snooping around and got excited when I realized that we are less than a month away from football camp, people reporting for NFL football camp. So I'm pretty excited. First preseason game for my Chiefs is August 13th, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Who are they playing, you know?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Just get to see them up on the screen, man. Pretty psyched. So, because we're in that weird phase right now of sports, not a lot going on. And so I was looking around for that type of thing. I'm just excited for football to happen. What was on this weekend that I was like, why am I watching this? Was it cornhole? I don't even remember. I was like, I don't even care.
Huh?
I don't even care. Why am I even putting this on?
Well, speaking of football, last NFL season, Devontae Adams caught the attention of authorities after he was caught on camera shoving a credentialed media worker while leaving the field in Kansas City. After the October incident, the Las Vegas Raiders receiver was hit with an assault charge. Now the prosecutor on the case has had a change of heart and has decided to drop the charges. But this isn't the end. The man who was shoved Ryan Zebley, who works as a freelance photographer, is still suing Adams, the Raiders, the Chiefs, and others over the incident in which he claims to have suffered whiplash, a headache, and a possible minor concussion. Poor him.
I mean, it's an opportunity to get money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you can go, well, that's not right. And it isn't, but that's between him and his maker.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of people think selling drugs ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think selling big pharma isn't right.
Right.
Truth. The Minnesota Timberwolves are locking down one of their top big men. ESPN is reporting the team signed center Naz Reid to a 3-year deal worth $42 million on Sunday. The contract also includes a player option for its third season. Reid was set to become an unrestricted free agent this offseason. He spent the last 4 seasons playing an integral role off Minnesota's bench. Last year, he averaged 11.5 points and nearly 5 boards per game before fracturing his wrist in March. And the Suns are planning to keep their starting center around for next season. NBA insider Chris Haynes reports that Phoenix is moving forward with the plan of keeping DeAndre Ayton to play alongside Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal. The 24-year-old big man averaged 18 points and 10 rebounds in 67 games last season. Ayton was signed to a 4-year, $133 million extension last summer after Phoenix matched an offer sheet that Ayton received from the Indiana Pacers. And the White Sox are going to be down 2 pitchers through at least the All-Star break. Chicago manager Pedro Grifol said Sunday that he doesn't expect starting pitcher Mike Clevinger and closer Liam Hendriks to return before the All-Star break. Hendriks has been sidelined since June 11th after dealing with some right elbow inflammation. Clevinger recently went to the 15-day injured list with right biceps inflammation. Hendriks made 5 appearances this season after overcoming non-Hodgkin's lymphoma back in late April. And the Hurricanes are keeping their captain in town. Carolina signed Jordan Staal to a 4-year deal worth $11.6 million to keep its on-ice leader in rally. Staal joined Carolina prior to a 2012-13 season and was named the team captain in 2019. The 34-year-old has totaled 155 goals and 397 points in his 11 seasons in Carolina. Hurricanes general manager Don Waddle said in a statement that Staal embodies what it means to be a Hurricane. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light.
Different things.
Mhm.
And I just want to make sure we're understanding your story correctly. Because you're talking about bruises and the water hurts when you hit it.
Mhm.
That I'll agree with 100%.
Yes.
But an enema, water entering your butt,
Uh-huh.
that's a new story to me. I've never heard of such a thing. And you're saying you and your husband, this has happened to you.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep. Hit the water just right. That's what happens.
Are you sitting as you jump into the water?
Yeah, right.
And pushing out?
You land just yes, exactly.
Yeah, but come on. Unless you're, jumping with your cheeks spread open, there ain't no way. And even then, it just ain't gonna happen. That thing's watertight for a reason.
That's what it feels like. It hurts.
I saw a Dallas Cowboy fan video from the other night when they lost, and he threw something, broke his TV, started punching his TV. It fell down, pulled out his gun, and started shooting the TV.
Oh my goodness.
And here's the thing about all that. They still lost. It didn't change anything.
No. So now you're out of television.
Yeah.
And you discharged a weapon in city limits.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a charge in itself right there.
You're at a friend's house.
Mhm.
Okay. Because I know you're
love
not a
it.
huge football fan,
Yeah.
but you watch football.
Yeah, I'll go over there, hang out, drink some beers.
Your
smoke
girl
some pot.
loves football.
Yeah, she loves it. Yes. I like it.
And matter of fact, Gimpy initiated a text to tease me
Yeah.
about the Chiefs game
Yeah.
on Sunday,
Yeah.
which is totally fine. I can take it.
Mhm.
I'm fine with that.
It's just unexpected coming from me.
Yeah, not normal.
Yeah.
But still awesome.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, come over, watch the game.
Okay, bet, man.
We watched the game.
Yeah,
we got
man.
beers, whatever.
Yeah.
We're having fun. The game goes south. Patrick Mahomes chokes. Ooh, wish he did.
He did. He threw
He
that ball
chucked.
right at that
He
fool,
chucked.
too.
He pushed a pass. Anyway, I digress. And he throws the interception. I chuck my beer at the TV. I start punching the TV. You don't even know I'm packing. I pull out my gun and start shooting the TV. And I yell, son of a bitch.
Yeah. What's my next
Is it
plan of
safe
action?
to say you probably will not come back over to watch a football game at my house?
I'm definitely. Well, I might. Oh, shoot.
Totally
No, I'm
care-
not
this is
coming back.
Yeah, it's a pretty
I'm not
extreme
coming
violent
back.
situation for
Yeah,
a guy
it
who's
is.
not violent.
For you. I was even to say, even if my best of friends did that, I'd be like, all right, I'll give you one more shot. If you pull out your gun a second time and start shooting a television over a goddamn football game, I am definitely never coming back. Not for football, not for Parcheesi, not for no goddamn win, lose, or
I ain't
draw.
playing
none of
Monopoly
that.
with you, bitch.
No, because I could be the television. I'm not taking that chance. I would give you one more opportunity, because you're not the guy that kind of, just flies off the handle like that. That's a one-off. If it
It was
happens,
pretty violent.
if it happens again, I'm like, all right, something's going on. Now, I'll tell you this. You pull out your gun, you start shooting a television, I'm not going to be sticking around for much longer.
Right, the party is over.
Pretty much. Even
we're
if the
definitely-
game...
We're
at
not watching the
halftime-
second game.
No.
I gotta go. I got to go vacuum my lawn. See you in the morning. No.
It's weird to see grown men
get
that angry about something they have no part in.
Mm-mm.
Right.
Of other grown men playing a kid's game, getting paid a king's ransom
That's the
to
truth.
get that mad. And I'm not saying you're not invested and you can't be a fan,
Mhm.
right? I get it. It's been your team forever.
Right.
You've been there for the ups and downs. But getting mad, I'll accept throwing a beer.
Sure.
That I'm like, yeah, emotions get the best of you.
Yeah, heat of the moment. Sure, why not?
You threw a beer, walked 10 feet,
Yeah.
punched a television multiple times. Then it fell. You then made a movement towards your waist, knowing what was there,
Right.
unholstered
Uh-huh.
or unwaistbanded, I guess,
All right.
Mhm.
and then fired not once, not twice, not 3 times, multiple shots. You had plenty of chances as an adult to control your emotions.
Yeah.
There is no way this individual that I saw in that video does not beat his wife.
Oh,
Exactly.
Has to, man.
That is, your ass is out of here. Go stay in a hotel.
I think, okay, I love your thought. When do you do that?
When do you tell him to leave?
Oh, as soon as he punches the TV, what are you thinking?
So you're going to try and yell at him while he's shooting the television? At what point, when someone's acting that way, do you intercept, Lindsay?
Yeah, because clearly this isn't the first time. This isn't the first
They
outburst.
just got boxes of TVs lying around.
Yeah, exactly.
right. Hey, kid fell off the
Especially as a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, this clearly wasn't the first time. So before that's happened, you would do it.
We're talking about this instant. No, we're talking about this instance. Okay, he punches the TV. He shoots it. At what point do you engage with him and say, "We're done. You're out of here"?
Is she a friend or is she the old lady?
Old lady.
Okay. All right. I like that.
I suppose after he empties his rounds of the gun,
I think that's a bad call.
it would have to be after.
I think that's a bad call. That's like telling somebody who's amped up to calm down.
Right. It just ain't going to work. It ain't going to work because you know what's going to happen? Chances are he's going to go reload, either grab another magazine or grab the box of ammo and reload the one that he just emptied and then take it out on you.
Yeah.
I'm good on that.
Or use his fist or whatever.
Yeah, I'm good on that. If I was the old lady in the situation, I'd just grab me and my 5 kids and I'd go stay in a hotel somewhere. And then let him sit in there, be drunk AF as he is, let him look at his beat up, shot at television, and let reality sit in and sink in of what he's actually done. Let him go to bed. Let him wake up sober.
See the TV again.
See the TV again with the bullet holes in the television and probably in the walls. And then we'll figure it out from there. Be like, listen, bro, you shot the television. How do I know that me, Miguel, Vera, and the rest of them are all, he's a Cowboys fan, so I'm just assuming. But how do we know that we're not next? I'm not going to take this chance.
Do you call the police?
Oh, this is the next day?
Whenever. You're at my house, that happens. Do you call the police?
You'd leave before you call the police.
On your way out?
Yeah, on the way out the door, like in the driveway, driving away. You know, if it was one of those, all right, he just got done shooting the television. I think this is my moment where I can leave. Like he's in the bathroom taking a whiz, right? Because he's been
You wait
drinking
for your
all that.
moment. To
Wait for your
Okay.
moment, and then you go ahead and you skedaddle on out of there, and you call the police and let them come over to the house and deal with it. And then you got to go to the house the next day, and then you got to see the TV on the ground with bullet holes in it. And then remember,
Yeah.
then you change the locks.
Yeah. I think you definitely wait the
Definitely.
next day. Calling the police feels like that makes sense.
It does. It does.
You fire a weapon within my proximity, I feel like I've got to call the police
Mhm.
because that's not normal behavior.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of letting him marinate in it.
You sit here and think about what you've done.
You don't even need to say
Sir.
that, right? Right?
Right.
That's like telling a fat person they're fat. They own mirrors. Like,
Hmm.
you come in.
Shot the TV.
Yeah. Son of a. What happened to the team?
Right. Goes, stumbles up, still drunk a little bit. Oh, goddamn tequila. Ay, Dios míos. Goes for the television to turn on the news. Click, click. Nothing. TV's on the floor with bullet holes in it.
How stupid. And then do you upgrade after that, or do you just get whatever you get the Aspina brand that you've never heard of that's on sale for $200?
In case this happens again.
Yeah, right.
That's all you can afford. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
people don't keep a surplus TV budget. I don't think.
No, that's what pawn shops are made for, man.
I haven't bought a TV in like at least 4 years. And that's when I moved into the house.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not true. I bought one for the playroom, I guess.
Yeah, but you bought one of the cheaper ones, right? You didn't go, Samsung or nothing like that.
Yeah. All I got to
This
tell you
deal.
is Roku. That's all I got to tell you.
I got
A
one of those
Roku
too.
TV is cheap and it works fine.
Absolutely.
People are like, well, how many HP did the thing and lines and all that? I'm like, it comes on.
Right. Does it have a picture? Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Can you get to the YouTube? Yes. That's it.
I'm confident with higher level brands, you get a different picture.
Mhm.
Confident.
Mhm.
I just don't care.
Right.
It's kind of like a diamond ring.
Mhm.
There's different levels of a diamond ring.
Mhm.
Sure.
But you get over a certain threshold, the human eye, cannot tell the difference.
Right. Now you're just spending money.
Yeah, there's
For
no reason to
status.
get, I don't know what it is, like an A diamond. You can't see the difference between an A, B, J, whatever. You need a monocle to do that.
Right.
So same with TVs. I'm like, who cares?
If it's going in the kids' room or like an outdoor TV, right there with you. If it's the main TV in the living room, though, oh, no.
Oh, how about this? Someone's like, what if it's at your house? Like you invite me over to watch the game and I shoot the TV.
There is so much going on in
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. We want to show you the money. You've got 9 chances to win $1,000. Listen during the week at the top of the hour, beginning at 9 a.m. You again have 9 chances to win. When you hear our $1,000 keyword, enter it online at kmod.com for your chance to win.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning, Corbin. Looks like I'm going to be at Camel Nissan on Thursday from 11 to 1. So if you're looking for a new car, just want to stop by and say hi, you should do that.
And we qualified another person for golf and beer for a year. Make sure you're listening for that cue to play every hour. Who'd we get, Gimpy?
That would be a guy that goes by the name of Ron Fleming from Bixby.
Congratulations, Ron. You now have a chance to win a case of Corona Premier Live Beer and a round of golf for 2 at Birdie Bay every month for the next 12 months. You got to listen for that cue to be played to be eligible. Another chance coming up very soon. All right. We are going to do best and worst of the weekend. What's the best thing that happened this weekend and the worst thing that happened this weekend? Lindsay, what's the best and what's the worst?
Well, the best was yesterday. Kevin and I celebrated 14 years of putting up with each other's S. Yeah. Saturday night, we went to dinner in the Ravu. Had great sushi, great drinks, and got a table by the window. So we saw the fireworks over Driller Stadium. It was awesome. Weather was hot, super hot, but they had their air conditioning on. So it was a really nice night. Then yesterday we
What'd you get him?
it wasn't what I got him. It's what he got him. But,
Okay.
my money's his money. His money's my money. So he got a new car,
He got a new car?
a new truck. Yeah, a GMC Sierra.
So you guys have each got a new car and you got a new house this year?
Mhm.
That's good in the Lindsay house.
Yeah, well, he really, really needed it.
Yeah.
His truck broke down twice while he was on vacation. And lately we've noticed like he's just putting more money into the truck than it's worth. It's old. He had his Chevy was a 2013. It had almost 200,000 miles on it. I mean, it was getting up there in age. So it was time. It was time.
Did you say 2018?
13.
Ah.
13. It was time. And so it was a pre-owned and he's very excited. And I like it too. It's very nice. So got to ride in that over the weekend. And yeah, it was really pretty for a truck. It's his first outside of a Chevy truck.
So that counted as your gift for him?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
We weren't going to do gifts because of the house purchase.
What did he get you?
Dinner. Yeah.
Okay.
Quality time, I guess.
Okay.
We did go to we stopped into Galaxy Pool yesterday because I'm having a hard time not having one anymore, just to browse, whatever. And we sat in, they have these massage chairs in there. I don't know if you've ever been in, but holy mackerel. They have these amazing massage chairs that literally massage every inch of your body. They have a section that you can put your feet into, your arms into. Yes. And
not that.
like
Okay.
compression massaging. We sat in those things for maybe 10 minutes and felt like $1 million. They were incredible. And I was like, okay, next year, this is what I want for our anniversary next year. Is one of these.
How much?
Bad boys. They run for anywhere from like $3,000 to $5,000
For a chair.
for a chair.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. But I would say worth it after feeling like $1 million. Worst part of the weekend, besides Gimpy ditching out on our song on Friday night.
Bitch, I sung with you one song. I did my part.
No. He wanted to sing Love Shack. I was like, all right, but then we got to sing something that I want to sing. And he was like, all right, cool. We'll do that. 2 songs before the song I wanted to sing with him, he leaves. But I'd say the real
What time was that
part,
at?
I was like midnight.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And he wasn't leaving to go home and go to bed either.
No, I went home to go shut it down in another place because I've had enough of the market. It was time for me to leave.
Eight hours is a long time.
Go to another
It was
bar.
a long time. It was.
No, the worst part.
That's longer than any of us spend at work.
Leo got poison oak or poison ivy on his face over
How?
the weekend. Playing in the creek.
Face
Being
first
a
in the
kid.
creek?
No, just walking through the brush in the creek. The kid loves to explore, and I can't blame him for that. But I had to take him to urgent care yesterday afternoon
Why?
because it's on his face. So he's got red around his eye, and it's just bad. So, but he did say, he was like, it doesn't really itch. It's just there. So I didn't want it to spread anywhere else. So headache of, gotta strip the bed, throw all of the stuffed animals, everything in the laundry. So that was kind of a headache. But yeah, he's got to take a steroid for a couple weeks and it should clear up.
That sounds terrible.
Best and worst of the
Yes, it
weekend. What's the
does.
best thing that happened this weekend and the worst thing that happened this weekend? Gimpy, what's the best and what's the worst?
Best, I guess, would have been patio party. I mean, patio party was fun. It was awesome. We hung out and we did some karaoke afterwards. I was just thinking, was that the best? I'm going to change it.
Okay.
Saturday, I get up, it's not really hungover from Friday night, right? But I get up and get my stuff going and I'm just riding around town. And I said, you know what? It is blazing ass hot out here. I want to hit up the crew and see what we're doing. Let's ride out to the lake. So we did. We got together, rode out to the lake, spent the afternoon out there just swimming around, partying, having a good time. That was probably the best part of it. The patio party was awesome. Don't get me wrong, but man, you just get us all together and out there in the water, and we're just hanging out, having a good time. So that would be the best. The worst part of the weekend, this is embarrassing, but whatever. My life is an embarrassment. Due to some, how do I put this? Due to some sexual trauma from Friday night, my right testicle would hurt all weekend long. Like, I got up Saturday, I was like, this does not feel right. Something is wrong. So, like, all day, my right boy was just achy all day Saturday. And I get up Sunday and I go home and I'm like, this is bad. Like, to the point where I couldn't ride. Well, I mean, I could ride. I made it home anyway, but it was like in my stomach hurting me. Like, this is bad. What the hell? So I go home and take some ibuprofen and put some peas on my balls and got everything to go back to normal. And it's still a little slight achy today. So all day Saturday, for the most part, all the day Saturday or Sunday. And then here I am, achy right boy. Just a skosh today. That's probably the worst. And if you've never, it's like getting kicked in the balls, man. It hurts, but like usually that goes away.
How much or how long would you have to endure the pain before you would go see a doctor?
Ooh, bro, I was ready. Like my plan was if it was still that bad today to where I was like feeling it in my stomach to where I'm like, oh God, this is terrible. I was going to the doctor today. I was going to go, whether it be urgent care, ER, I don't know, whatever. I had a plan to go to the doctor today if it was still that bad today, but it wasn't, so we're good.
Yeah, I think I would be like 24 hours.
You think so?
I would be like, after 24 hours, I'm like, I got to go to the doctor.
Right.
Ooh.
I ain't going to urgent care.
Yeah, I was kind of sitting there thinking, I was like, is that something you go to urgent care for, or is that strictly
You
like
could, of course you could.
emergency room worthy? Is it emergency room worthy? Or do you just like make an appointment and hope, they can get you in before the 16th or whatever?
When it comes to your boys,
Yeah.
I would think emergency room.
I think emergency room is if you can't function. So like if you
Okay.
couldn't pee,
Right.
if you couldn't walk,
Yeah.
if you can't eat,
That makes
if
sense.
you can't breathe,
Yeah.
to me, that's what the emergency room is for.
Yeah.
Emergency situations, not
Right.
discomfort,
Right.
right?
So
If you
yeah.
couldn't pee, yes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, because that could be dangerous.
Yeah, but if you could pee and everything else, you're just really uncomfortable.
Right.
I don't think I personally wouldn't go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't go to urgent care because all they do is just kind of keep you simmering and then
Yes.
Right.
maybe give you something for the pain and then be like, go see your doctor.
Or send you to an emergency room anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just said, you know what? Take some ibuprofen, put some peas on it, and be done. So I did. Put the peas back in the fridge. We'll use those later.
Isn't that a thing where your ball twists up and you can still
Testicular
urinate?
torsion is the name of their condition.
Yeah.
That's where it gets wrapped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that
Like a
an
knot, like a
emergency
knot.
situation?
There'd be nothing they can do.
Right. It's just
Except
got to
remove it?
untangle itself.
No, it has to untangle itself. In extreme cases, they will do surgery.
Because I went to school with a kid in elementary school that happened to, and he had to have it removed.
Yeah, because if it's too long,
Uh-huh.
it loses blood.
Yeah.
And then you got a dead testy.
Okay.
I'll tell you this right now. Text that came in. It's not a kidney stone.
Mm.
I can promise you that.
Right, because you wouldn't feel that in your balls.
Right.
Yeah. I guess good for you, dude.
Yeah, right. I guess. I don't know. I was like, this is definitely the worst part of my weekend right now. All weekend.
I like this text. Can be a swollen balls from sexual trauma. Can my worst of the weekend be my ears?
Love it.
Here's a text. I had pain on my balls for a couple of weeks. They talked about testicular torsion And even cancer never prayed so much for an STD. Turns out it was a herniated disc in my back.
Oh,
Wow.
Do you need a lesson in biology? Human anatomy? That's crazy, dude. Another text, testicular pain sure could definitely be an emergency situation. Sure. But I'm just saying that I think the emergency room in general, not
Right.
just the test, is
Yeah.
like when you can't function in some capacity.
Yeah, broken bones.
I need emergency attention.
Right. My
Not
heart
I'm
stopped.
not I'm uncomfortable.
Got a bellyache.
Yeah. If you have a bellyache and can't eat, or you have a bellyache and can't keep food down, sure.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'm an EMS, and you wouldn't believe the stuff people go to the ER for.
I would actually.
I would actually, yeah. I absolutely would. Yeah. Best and worst of the week, and I don't know how we get this train back on, but we're gonna try. Best and worst of the week, and mine's gonna feel so dramatic based off what Good Bees was. Best and worst of the weekend, BMMS and whatever that is to 82945, or you can call 918-460-KMOD. Best part of the weekend and worst part of the weekend are the same for me. And the worst part, I'll put that out there first, is it took 3 TVs to fix my back patio.
No.
The storm took the TV off.
Mhm.
No, that's not true. Hold on. 1, 2. Okay. So it took 3 TVs to replace the TV that the wind damage on my back patio.
Yeah.
First one I bought, took it, broken. Second one I bought, put it up, broken. Third one, got that up, works fine. I had my safety officer help me, my wife, to make sure I wasn't the culprit,
Right.
which it very well could have been,
Yeah.
to put it up. And so the best part is I have my TV on my back patio.
Woohoo!
That's fun.
That's nice. I let the kids play in the little inflatable splash thing and sat there and watched TV. It was awesome.
Was it just like a broken screen, or was it just not power? I mean, what was the issue with the TVs?
When you turn it on, it looks like a kaleidoscope.
Oh,
That's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like, the kids who are out there in the back of the store, you know what I'm talking about, that are unloading them, not caring, just
Yeah.
tossing them, whatever.
I like that.
Yeah. Blame it on the kids.
That sounds good. I mean, it's no, swollen balls from banging
Right?
too hard. Somebody, I've had over a dozen kidney stones. First thing that hurt is my balls. Okay. Best part of the weekend was going to the Blue Hole. Worst is I lost $10 at a slot machine at the Hard Rock. $10, huh? I don't know how you're making it today, but good luck.
Struggle, man.
Yeah, it'll get better by lunch, I promise. Best of the weekend, got officially moved into the new place. Worst of the weekend, I had to spend 9 hours driving on Sunday.
Oh, that sucks.
Best, spent the whole weekend at the lake. Worst, dealing with 2 solid days of drinking at the lake today. Worst, it was hot. Best, finally got to have a relaxing weekend. Been traveling the past 3 weekends to Ohio, Missouri, and New Mexico. Best of the weekend, Friday, my husband and I got to drive Ferrari in a Lamborghini at Hallett.
Ooh,
Awesome.
I've heard about that.
Worst part of the weekend, Saturday, I had too many Trulies by the pool.
Oh,
Sounds like a
no.
great time.
Just say you had too many by the pool.
Right. 'Cause we're labeling you now that you said truly.
Yeah, you had Trulies. You're like,
The thing is, we don't know if this is male or female that's texting in.
no, it said my husband. Well.
Just saying.
Yeah, no, that's fair. All right, we got tickets we're going to give away. We'll give those away when we come back.
You're listening to the Big Mad Morning Show. This is Tulsa's Morning Show. 94.
Well, I mean, you can get that anywhere, any hotel, right?
Man's porn amplified on portable speaker at apartment complex pool.
Nice.
Yeah, this actually happened last week where down in Florida, police were summoned to the Palms of Clearwater Development last Sunday night after a witness reported seeing a man pull his pants down and begin to masturbate to a pornographic
that's
video
weird.
on his
Damn.
personal cell phone. Cops identified the accused masturbator as Christopher Harris, 51 years old, a resident of the Palms, which describes itself as a Mediterranean oasis, only minutes from the Clearwater beaches.
Harris, police noted in an arrest affidavit, also connected the video to a Bluetooth speaker and began playing the video out loud as he masturbated. Multiple officers responded to the 911 call, observed Harris pleasuring himself by the pool. After being read his rights, Harris reportedly admitted to playing with himself, adding that when he is intoxicated, he does stupid things. Yes.
Yeah.
He was arrested for exposure of sexual organs, a misdemeanor. He was released from the county jail the following Monday on his own
Reconnaissance.
yes, thank you. Harris's rap sheet includes convictions for criminal mischief and also battery. This guy.
You.
Yeah.
So obviously I know masturbating's a thing
Yeah.
from what I hear.
Mhm.
Is recording yourself masturbating a thing?
He wasn't recording himself. He was watching the porno on his phone, and he was playing it over a Bluetooth speaker so everyone could hear it. Like they could hear the video itself.
Sure, I
That's how
thought
he
you-
was watching it.
I thought you said the police looked at his phone to verify it was him.
No.
To verify he's probably watching porn or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a mango.
Jesus. Yeah, you got to watch those Bluetooth connections, man.
Yeah, they just
Right.
pop up everywhere, man.
Yeah.
You are connected.
I call this day spa or dispensary.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Okay. So basically, I've got some businesses. These are legit businesses in Tulsa.
Oh, fun.
It's either a day spa or a dispensary.
Okay.
Now, based off the name, you're going to chime in with that's how you're going to buzz in. Corbin or Lindsay.
Okay.
Got
You
it.
get one shot and one shot only because this is a 50
Don't I know?
There's no point in,
Mhm.
hey, would you like to guess, Lindsay? He said it's a
Yeah.
dispensary. No, it's a day. So you only get one shot.
Okay.
Whoever wins at the end, I got a big prize for you. Okay.
Like a little nug, maybe. A prize?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Maybe.
God knows
So-
you have plenty.
Right. So day spa or dispensary, are you guys ready?
Ready.
All right, we're going to take it up from the top here. Euphoria. Corbin, yes.
That's a spa.
Euphoria is a dispensary. No points for anybody on that one. All right. Nirvana, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin would be correct.
Come on, Lindsay.
You got to get in the game, woman. Get in the game. All right. Omni Oasis, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Day spa.
Day spa is correct. So far, we're tied 1-1. La Fusion, day spa or dispensary? La Fusion.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, that is incorrect. La Fusion is a day spa. Poppies, day
Corbin.
spa or dispensary? Corbin,
That
yes.
is a day spa.
Yes, you are correct. Poppies is a day spa.
Hmm.
2-1 so far. Corbin's lead. OHG, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay,
Dispensary.
that is correct. Tied
What'd
up.
you say? Oh,
OHG. That's all it is. These are all the ones. I just found them on Google.
sure.
I just simply Googled day spa and then Googled dispensaries and then found a bunch of them that
Sure.
are really close.
I just
They
couldn't
could be
hear. I didn't hear
confused.
you because you were going so fast. I didn't hear you. I
OHG.
didn't know it was
I wonder
letters.
what that stands for.
I have no idea. Nonetheless, moving forward, 918 Elevate, day spa or dispensary? 918 Elevate.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
Dispensary.
That is correct. Corbin's in the lead, 3-2. One Love Wellness, day spa.
Corbin.
You got to pick it up, Lindsay. Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, One Love Wellness is indeed a
Wow.
dispensary. Yes. Corbin killing it right now. Lotus Blossom,
Corbin.
day spa or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
You are wrong, my friend.
You
Lotus-
might need to.
Lotus
Okay.
Blossom is a day spa. Go ahead, Google
I
it.
know there's a
Taking
dispensary called
massages.
Lotus.
There's one called Lotus Gold, not Lotus Blossom. See, and that's the fun part about this game because they can be
No, somatic,
they're
sure.
so close. All right, Indigo, day spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
That is a dispensary.
Indigo. Lindsay is a day
Yeah.
spa.
Oh,
So
bummer.
far, it's 4-2. Corbin's lead. Hand and Stone, day spa or
Lindsay.
dispensary? Lindsay.
Spa.
All right, Lindsay, you are correct on a comeback.
I've been
It's a-
there.
It's a 50-50 guess.
Right, of course. All right, Rosebuds, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
I'm going to go dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct. Rosebuds is a dispensary, tied up 4-4. Jade Wellness Center, day spa
Corbin.
or
Lindsay.
dispensary. Corbin.
That is a wellness, or that is a day spa.
Corbin. Jade Wellness Center is a dispensary. Still tied 4-4. Deluxe, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary. Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin, you are incorrect. Deluxe is a dispensary. Nature's Kiss.
I think that's both, actually.
Who knows? This is just the
Yeah,
information that
who
was
cares if it's
given.
accurate?
Yeah. All right, Nature's Kiss, day spa or dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
That is correct, my friend. Corbin just made 5-4. Aqua Viva Oasis, day
Lindsay.
spa or dispensary. Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay is correct. All right, so we're tied up 5-5. Fig Medical, day spa or dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, that is incorrect. Fig Medical is a day spa.
I was thinking because like sweets,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
like sometimes you know it smells like
You're
a fig.
thinking medical marijuana.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
All right. All right. Remember, this is for a big prize at the end of the
Sure.
at the end of the game here.
Sure.
You are going to love the prize that I have
Leftovers.
chosen for you.
Leftovers.
Right, it's a
Okay.
roach.
Right, right. right.
Bong
And not the
water.
one you smoke.
It's the crumbs.
Laura Apothecary, day
Lindsay.
spa or dispensary. Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay is incorrect. The
Yeah, it's a
Laura
spa.
Apothecary is a day spa. Lucky Garden, day spa or dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That's a dispensary.
Lucky Garden, Corbin is a day spa. So far, we got 6 to Corbin and 5 to Lindsay. The Health Center, day spa or
Oh,
dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
That is correct. You sound like you've been there before.
To me, the name was just so obvious. There's no
Right.
way you're going to call an actual spa that.
Right, the Health Center. Supreme Heights, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin would be correct. All right, so we're looking at 8-5, Lindsay.
Okay.
All right, we're down in the home stretch of this thing. All right, the Enchanted Cottage, day
Corbin.
spa or dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin is incorrect. That is a day spa.
Why are people calling here asking for that weed?
Got any specials on an ounce, man?
It's called Enchanted.
Wildflower, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
That is incorrect, Corbin. Wildflower is a day spa. All right, Clover Patch, Tulsa, day spa or
Lindsay.
dispensary. Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct.
What's the score?
6-8, Corbin's
Okay.
lead. All right, the Merry Mind, day spa or
Lindsay.
dispensary. Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay. The Merry Mind is a dispensary. All right, the Relax Station, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary. Corbin.
That is a spa.
That is correct. Corbin is up 9-6. Path to Wellness, day spa or dispensary.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay, Path to Wellness is a
Oh,
day
I'm
spa.
sorry. I thought you said packed.
Oh, yeah. Was that the
wellness.
problem?
Yeah, I thought it said packed.
Sure, yes. Let me enunciate a little bit more, shall we? All right, let's see here. Heirloom, day spa or dispensary. Heirloom, day spa or dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin.
That's a dispensary.
Corbin, Heirloom is a day spa.
Mm.
You're still in the lead 9-6. He's okay. Tulsa Garden, day spa or dispensary.
Lindsay.
Lindsay. Day
Spa.
spa or dispensary. The Tulsa Garden is a day spa. Good job, Lindsay.
Score.
We're looking at 9-7, Corbin's lead. Bella Roma Medical, day spa or dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin.
Dispensary.
Corbin. Bella Roma Medical is a day spa. Stonebrook, day spa or dispensary.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Spa.
Yes, you are correct, Lindsay. We are now 9-8, neck and neck. Who is going to win, day spa or dispensary, and walk away with a big, big prize? Stone Age Meds, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary. Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin. The Stone Age Meds is a dispensary. Uptown Wellness, day spa or dispensary.
Corbin.
Lindsay.
Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin. Uptown Wellness is a dispensary.
Really?
We only got 2 left here.
Okay.
All right. So we got a chance to tie it and a breaker if we can do this. All right. Pura, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary. Corbin.
Dispensary.
Corbin is correct. Cura is a dispensary, puts him with the win 10-8. I'll go ahead and give you the last one, see if you can guess it. Stonebrook Day Spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay would have been correct, which wouldn't matter because it's 10-9. Corbin is the big winner. Congratulations, Corbin.
What I get?
You want to know what you got?
Yeah.
My friend, I tell you, you have won my leftover potatoes. That's right, Corbin. I had
Listen,
dinner last night.
I love it. That's awesome, man. I'm actually kind of hungry, so I think that's a fantastic
This is
gift. And
perfect.
you're not a horrible cook,
No.
so that's great. But, I just think it's just an honor to win, so I'm going to go ahead and give it to Lindsay. She put in a valiant effort.
Listen,
And,
Corbin,
I just appreciate the competitiveness. And, I'm just one guy on a team, and we're just a team trying to make the thing happen. And, it's an honor to be a part of the Ford Truck Series and anything I can do to make this Hilton Hotel team do the best they can.
Well, Corbin, I'm glad that you accepted and decided to give your prize of potatoes to the loser of the game, but that's not all that you're going to win. All right? So not only do you get my leftover dinner from last night, my potatoes and a little bit of steak with some cheese on top, I'm also going to hook you up with a 6-pack of Twisted Tea.
Oh.
Set right up front because nobody wants this. So
Yeah.
I grabbed a pack and you get
Yeah.
to take it home with
Again, you put
Twisted
zero
Tea.
effort into the prize.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just real grateful that this Hilton Honors team did the best they could. And good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD.
Spa or dispensary?
This says, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years because I made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, slept with some woman, and almost immediately the guilt took over me. She has told me it's over, but I have to try. What can I do to get her to give our marriage a second chance? 918-460-KMOD. Bmms. Then whatever you think he should do to 82945. Let's entertain the idea. What are some things he could do? How about a vacation?
Ooh.
You and me, let's have a vacation. Let's go to some beautiful exotic place and talk out my inability to keep my penis in my pants.
Yeah.
Having kids usually fixes that
Some
situation.
Yeah.
that maybe if you're lucky, you'll get to do that.
Vacations are nice. Absolutely.
Can you work on a
But-
problem on a vacation, Lindsay?
I don't think so. Because
This
once
isn't a
you get
problem. This is a
back-
crack in the foundation.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Because once you get back, everything's right there, Yeah.
What are some other
And-
things he could try?
I think he
Entertain the
begs,
idea.
goes
No
on
bad ideas.
hands and knees and
Begs?
begs. What do you want me to do? I will do anything you want me to do.
Yeah. Horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody, right? And this is why. Because you want to fix it, you have to come up with ideas. Not me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to fix it.
Mhm.
Why do I have to tell you how to fix your problem?
Mm-hmm.
Not just this, any scenario, if you have to go to the person and be like, tell me what I have to do to fix this, then you shouldn't be in it. It's a horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody to try and rectify a problem.
Mhm.
Because it means you don't know. You haven't even entertained ideas.
Right.
How about a candlelight dinner?
That's
That's not
good
enough.
and gravy and all, but the distractions there, man, you're not going to be able to enjoy your candlelight dinner. You're not going to be able to do much of anything fun, a vacation or anything like that because, there's a giant elephant in the room.
Again, we're just trying to convince
Mm-hmm.
for a second chance. What about a spa day?
Sure. I'll go ahead and let you spend your money on me so I can go and feel better.
Yeah, is he
about
going to send
myself.
her on a spa day? I know. I think he needs to go to her and definitely he needs to know from her what she expects from him,
I don't think.
what he wants her to
Come
do.
on,
What-
Lindsay.
yeah,
Come
no.
on. Come on, Lindsay.
Taking
Come on,
her-
Lindsay.
What?
What he expects of her.
what
Don't have
she
sex with
wants him
other
to do.
people.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what the expectation is.
Absolutely. But he's done it. He's done the damage.
Yeah, so we're
Right.
talking
He's
about a
done the
second
damage.
chance.
Exactly.
So what do we're just talking about crazy ideas.
Yep.
Commit to
Yeah.
an idea, Lindsay.
Yeah. So going on vacation, sure, it's nice, but now he gets to go on a vacation too. Like, it's almost like, I don't know if I want to go on a vacation with you right now.
Hall pass. You want a crazy idea? Give her a hall pass.
There,
Give
yeah.
her an opportunity to even Stevens this thing.
Mhm. And she doesn't have to tell him about it. Ever.
Well, no, she knows about his, so I feel like it has
It's
to be
only
even.
fair, yeah.
If it's even, it's even.
No.
Why do you not get to tell anybody?
Maybe she doesn't even take him up on it. He'll never know.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Let him wonder. Did she or didn't she?
yeah. Usually works.
It usually does.
Yeah.
Withholding information.
Yeah.
So pissed off, we crank that up, listening to Appetite. Turn that damn jungle music down. What are you doing? He gets so pissed off that we use this stereo to crank up our jungle music. Yeah.
I would have been 12. And so I would have been in junior high, I guess, or about to enter junior high.
Yeah, 5th, 6th grade, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like I was in junior high.
Okay.
I feel like I remember buying the album.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a long time ago. I saw this weekend that apparently it was our high school reunion.
Okay. In Iowa?
In Iowa, yeah. Because I graduated in 93. And so this would be 30 years?
Yeah.
And wasn't alerted to it, whatever, which is fine. I don't even know if I would have gone.
Don't invite Corbin.
Which is fine. But I was going through some of the pictures that that got posted.
Oh, that's fine.
And I saw some people there were people I'm like, I had to zoom in to read their name tag.
Right.
And I'm like, ooh.
Right. Because
Didn't age well.
over 30
Yeah.
years.
Life was hard on you.
Yeah.
Saw some people, I'm like, you look exactly the same.
That's fun.
You haven't, and then, but a ton of people, I'm like, I don't know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like going just off their looks.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was trying to think about, it's different if you live in the community where you went to high school,
Mhm.
right? Because you see people occasionally. It's easy to hear what's happened with you,
Yeah.
especially with social media. I was telling my wife, I'm like, I don't know how much fun it would be to go, so where do you live? Oh, you're in radio. What's that like?
Mhm.
Right.
When you're like, oh, God, help me.
Yeah.
How many times do you tell? I just don't know because I'm not connected to any of those people anymore.
Right.
At what point do you're just repeating this? Can I just hand a sheet out?
Mhm.
You should. Or at least stand on stage and take the mic and be like, all right, I'm getting this all out at once. Open your ears, keep them open, take notes if you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just get it all out.
And I'm not, as you guys are well aware,
Mhm.
as I've gotten older, I am not a late night person.
Right.
So the idea of then staying at the bar and doing this till
Yeah.
closing time.
Yeah. You're like, can we have a reunion that's at like a brunch? Where we meet for a brunch?
Oh, I'm sure.
reunion?
Listen, I'm sure there was a brunch
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
because
For sure.
that's all you pack as much in that short amount of time. And they coincide it with like a festival that happens in my hometown.
Mhm.
And so like they walk in the parade and, with like the class of 93.
Oh,
And
that's
I asked
fun.
my wife, I'm like, what do you do when I'm doing that? She's like, I guess I watch the parade. I'm like, that sucks.
Oh, yeah.
I know for me, if I had to watch you walk in a parade, I would definitely applaud when you walked by. But the rest of the time, I would be wanting to end my life.
Uh-huh.
Is there a beer stand around here?
Yes. The answer is yes, by the way.
Right.
Mhm.
I missed my 10-year and my 20. And I got to wait until 29 to get to the 30. So,
I don't even. So what's next? I guess 40?
yeah.
Mhm.
And then that's when things really. When I was DJing in the clubs, I remember there was an older couple, Harry and Mary, and they were in there.
Huh?
Harry and Mary.
Is that a joke?
No, this is no lie. Harry was this tall sumbitch, looked just like John Holmes. Dude, it
Harry.
was so
And he was very
crazy. Yes.
Harry?
Yes, curly hair, whatever, on his head. on his shoulders.
That you know of.
And then
Or
Mary,
maybe.
I mean, because Harry was at least, he's like 6'7". He was this tall, lanky dude. And then Mary was this little bitty old hippie gal or whatnot, it's hair down to like back of her knees or whatever. And I remember we just came in from our 40th reunion, and I'm like, no kidding. Just imagine how much people have changed after that.
Oh, yes, they'd be so different, dude.
Right. Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't, and I gotta take inventory on who's dead.
Right.
I cannot wrap my brain. I'd be happy to donate money to the reunion fund,
Right.
but I don't need to go. I don't know what I'm gonna get out of it. What am I gonna gloat?
Right.
Or am I gonna be sad?
My smoking hot wife.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or am I gonna like trigger something in somebody
Right.
that and they're like, hey, what could have been? Oh God.
Or you get that guy that's had a beef since high school.
Oh,
and he's there to
God.
kick your ass at the
Yes.
class reunion.
I always said if Corbin showed up. Like, huh? I don't even know. Or like I don't know. I just don't understand the point of a reunion. I can't wrap my brain around it.
I guess.
Hey, remember that one time?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, remember when you?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, remember when huh?
Yeah.
I don't have anything in common with these people.
I think my class has had one reunion so far. That was it. And then
Well, typically they do a thing every
They're
5 to 10 years.
supposed to, yes. The first one I couldn't go to because I was too close to giving birth, so I couldn't get on an airplane or drive. It was too close to Marcus's due date. And then the second one was canceled due to the pandemic. And I think they've just given up.
I'm sure they
I
haven't.
feel
given up.
like
People love that stuff.
Oh, there'll be another one. Don't worry. Yeah, it'll be more important because now you got to make up for those lost ones.
yeah, I don't know. My class, I feel like was just lazy bums, man.
How except you, huh?
No, I'm not planning it.
How many were in your graduating class?
Around 420.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. All those people I'm sure are wonderful people. I just
Mhm.
I don't know them.
Right. It's been 30 years.
Yeah. It's like double to triple the amount of time we were together.
Right.
Like, I don't even know, like the guy I was best friends with, I don't even know who he is.
Wow.
Right? Because he's evolved 2 to 3 times
Mm-hmm.
since we were friends.
So you don't even know like what state he lives in now or anything.
No.
Huh.
No. Why? Why do I need to?
You
Because
never
he
know.
was your
when
best friend.
Past tense.
Mhm.
rekindle that old relationship. You
I'm
guys
so
can
bad
start
at
hanging out
relationships.
again, you know? You start, I don't know, maybe a car club or something. I don't
God,
know.
no. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
You're listening to the Big Mad.
There's nothing really you can do. Just let time pass it on by. That's it.
I'm sorry, I have no gimmick for you that will work.
Mm.
You tell her you want it to work, you made a giant mistake, and you're willing to work through it. She doesn't hear that. You got your answer.
Yeah, right.
Pretty black and white, man.
Yeah.
You have to eat your S sandwich. And when you go on and date in the future and be asked what happened with your marriage, you got to be honest. You S'd the bed royally. And so either you tell her what you want and hope she appeases you, but why beg someone to be with you? The Huffington Post has a list of the rudest things to avoid when you're visiting someone's home, like things you shouldn't do, right?
Okay.
Touching or moving things.
Well, yeah.
Oh, so like if I'm guilty of this though. Like if a picture
I'm
is
shocked.
if a picture is crooked hanging on the wall, I'll
It's-
straighten it
Why?
No.
Why? It's not yours.
Exactly.
because I'm sure that it wasn't supposed to be crooked.
You don't know that. Some people like things off kilter like that.
I'll even mention it. I'm gonna fix that.
Oh, that's rude. That's like, like the cliche of like a mom coming in, like, your pictures aren't straight.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ma.
Another one. Expecting a tour.
Oh yeah.
You don't walk in and be like, give me a tour.
No, I don't.
I totally do. I
because
love snooping
don't-
around.
Because I don't want someone to do that to me. Because what if your bedrooms aren't clean or the bathroom's not clean?
Then they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Furthermore, Susan, they shouldn't be having company over if that's the case. Bedroom, maybe. Right? Bathrooms, though, clean that ass up if you're having company come over.
Another one, overstaying your welcome.
Right.
How long? What's the good amount of time to stay at someone's house?
Depends on what the activity is.
Yeah,
Let's say dinner.
Oh, okay.
couple hours.
2 hours after dinner. After 2 hours.
So you still at 6, 8, get out.
Because now it's time for the family to wind down.
Yeah.
And start doing their own nightly routine.
And I think it depends on who it is too. Like you always know, I think, depending on which friend it is.
Snooping.
Oof.
Yeah.
Opening the cabinet
Yeah, you
to
don't
look
do
through the
that.
medicine cabinet. You feel like you give the vibe that you do that.
No, I don't do that.
Okay, it's not an insult. I'm just saying it
Yeah.
gives a vibe.
Why? What gives
Because you're
you that
nosy.
vibe?
You're very nosy.
What makes me nosy?
Well, you'll walk into a room when a conversation's happening going, wait, what are we talking about?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You love knowing other people's gossip?
Yeah. I'll watch those gossip shows.
No, I'm
That's what
talking
they're
like
there
personal
for.
gossip. I'm not talking about TV shows.
Yeah, if we're here, I don't want to miss out on anything, for sure.
Yeah, that's nosy.
Yeah.
Bringing an uninvited +1.
Yeah. Because now you're forcing the other people to like entertain somebody they don't know. It just makes
Right. Or
everything.
don't
Yeah.
like.
Exactly. And it's not your place to be inviting somebody else over.
Feeding their dog.
Huh? Oh, like table scraps or something?
I think that's what they mean,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you'd be like, where's your chow chow so I can put it in the
Mhm.
bowl? Yeah. Some people do that. Some people think that because they feed their dogs table scraps or popcorn or whatever,
Yeah.
that they can do that with your dog.
That's good that your dog's stomach has adapted to that. But now you're going to make your friend's dog crap all over their house because it's not used to that.
Showing up empty-handed.
I don't think that's that bad. I mean, do I have to bring potato salad every time I come over?
No?
Exactly.
No, I always take something.
Yeah. I always take a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Always, always.
All right. I usually got my medicine on me, so that just works out perfectly.
Yeah, but that's not extra, right? Like you said, it's like offering him a cigarette.
Right. I don't have to share with you, though. That's the thing. I don't have to.
Yes, but you're not going out of your way is the point, right?
Listen, I'm the guy that goes to Walmart and gets the cookies for the potluck that we're having here at work, okay? Do you expect more from me?
Yeah, I think if you go to someone's house and they're making, like, let's just say dinner still,
Mhm.
you got to take something.
Yeah.
I did. I brought
Even
my
a
appetite.
dessert or wine, whatever.
Yeah.
Something.
It's just manners, Gimpy, right?
Right. Yeah, sure.
No?
Listen, y'all invited me over. Okay, cool. I'll come over and have dinner. That's all right. Doesn't mean I have to bring a bottle of wine or a 6-pack or a bottle of anything for that fact. That's that. Unless you say so. Hey, BYOB, bring a bottle, bring a side item. We'll get the main course. That happens to me a lot. We got the main courses. Come on over for barbecue, whatever. Bring a side item. All right, cool. Tater salad it is.
I've never gone to someone's house and like looked around and said to myself, that's so dirty here.
Oh.
Ugh.
Wow.
What do they have, lives? Right? I don't go, their sheets, they didn't even make their bed. I don't do all that.
Oh, I bet you have.
Look down my
No.
nose at you.
Because life happens.
Depends on the level of the filth, right? If you walk into somebody's house,
If you're
and
a
it looks like
hoarder?
hoarders, yeah, exactly.
I ain't going to your house. I already
Yeah.
know you're a hoarder.
But this is the first time you didn't realize that they were disgusting people or hoarders until you walk into their house,
oh,
right?
no. You
get
can read a
totally
hoarder a
thrown
mile
off
away.
guard.
No, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
Hoarder.
Yeah, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
You just tell by the way they dress, their lack of showering.
Or by their vehicle.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, right? I think absolutely.
But you still don't say anything. You just kind of watch where you sit down, maybe scooch the newspapers or whatever,
Yeah.
paper plates with leftover pizza rolls on them and hang out for a little bit. And I got to go. I got it.
If I'm going to
Kids.
judge, I'm judging, like, I'm going to judge the food.
Mm.
So I'm not going to judge, like, hey, your bed wasn't made.
Mhm.
No.
I'm going to judge, oh my God, you served Brussels sprouts or whatever that is.
Right.
I'm not going to. Jeff Hensley will join us at 9. If you've got a question about a divorce or custody, guardianship, any of those things, he'll be able to answer them when we talk to him at 9. So get your question to us now. You can do that via email, show@kmod.com, or feel free to text it if you'd like. Let's see what's in Gibby's 4x4.
Well, Corbett says here that the U.S. Coast Guard launches the Titan investigation. The investigation was announced during a news conference yesterday in Boston. Captain Jason Neubauer is leading the probe, giggity, which he said is currently in the evidence collection phase. Neubauer added that the MBI investigation that's being conducted is the highest level of U.S. Coast Guard investigations.
Good.
I guess. You don't want the lowest level of investigations, right?
I think we're going to do about a mediocre one.
Right. Halfway somewhere. We'll do what we can afford.
Yeah, guys, we'll get to it. We've got to get some people out of a lake.
Yeah, right. It says here that Biden speaks with Zelensky and Trudeau about events in Russia. The White House said yesterday that the leaders affirmed their unwavering support for Ukraine against Russian aggression. This comes after a short-lived rebellion by the Wagner Group, a private Russian military organization led by Yevgeny Prigozhin. Sure. The Kremlin reportedly reached an agreement with the Wagner Group to drop the charges against what's-his-nuts and in exchange for the group ending its insurrection. I guess they're trying to stage a coup.
Did you? Yes.
I didn't watch.
Dude, it was crazy to read it unfold on Twitter, right?
Very interesting.
And now they came to some miraculous deal where he'll go to Belarus, the troops will back down, but they don't know where the guy is.
Because he's in Siberia right now.
Or he's dead.
Or dead, exactly.
The idea that this could happen and that troops were marching towards Moscow, or so we've been told.
Right.
Insanity.
Yeah.
And that the story is that they picked up Putin and took him out of Moscow. Like all that. So there's so much chaos happening. It's crazy.
Interesting. Well, it says here that Trump rips the EV industry during his Michigan speech. During his speech to Republican supporters yesterday, he warned that the state's auto industry is at risk under Joe Biden, saying that his environmental extremism is heartless and disloyal and horrible for the American worker. The former president claimed that transitioning to electric cars could, quote, decimate Michigan, adding that they will kill more than half the U.S. auto jobs. His comments come as whole JB administration has pushed to boost the electric vehicle sales. And then lastly, here, Tulsa Public Schools is reopening today. No, you're not going back to school, just other stuff. The Tulsa Public Schools plans to reopen today after being closed due to the power outages and storm damage. TPS is reopening most sites and programs, including the Summer Cafe, which allows for students 18 and under to get free meals all summer long. They will also be reopening the summer programming. Back at it.
The 2023 Men's College World Series champion will be crowned tonight. The second-seeded Florida Gators crushed the fifth-seeded LSU Tigers 24-4 in Game 2 of the College World Series championship. Wyatt Langford hit one home run and drove in a game-high 6 runs, while Jack Caglianone and Ty Evans both homered twice and totaled 5 RBI. The 24 runs scored were a Men's College World Series record for a single game. LSU starter Nate Ackenhausen was charged with the loss after letting the Tigers fall behind early. LSU and Florida will meet at Charles Schwab Field in Omaha tonight for the decisive Game 3. And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original bird that you'd be willing to eat, such as a shoebill stork. You know what a shoebill stork is, Lindsay?
No.
Look up shoebill stork. Shoebill stork. It will, if I remember correctly, this is a very bizarre looking bird. It almost looks human-like.
Giant honking schnoz.
It is terrifying.
Yeah.
It will haunt you in your nightmares. If I remember right, it makes a horrendous sound. A very loud noise. It's not like a beautiful
Yeah,
chirping
yeah.
or anything. It's a very loud noise.
Mm-hmm.
The shoebill stork. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is your pick?
Probably a. What's the one? What are the We call him. My husband calls it a Harry Truman, and that's not what its real name. We see.
Dropping bombs?
Huh?
Is it just dropping bombs everywhere it
No,
flies?
it's the. Now I can't even think of the real name of it. You see them all a blue herring. Is that what it is?
Blue herring.
What? Isn't that a fish?
See them all the time on the.
So it's the ones you see in the ponds, and they got the long
Yes,
legs and stuff like that.
yes.
Yeah.
Piranha.
The heron. Yes.
Great blue heron.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity.
Gimpy?
Can I say big?
Huh?
Big?
Bird.
Big bird. Okay.
Oh.
If we're going like a legit bird,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the flamingo.
Yeah. That's where I was going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see if it tastes like shrimp.
Yeah. Flamingo or
That's
roadrunner.
true.
One of the two.
Yeah. Why not? That sounds fine. Penguin. I'm down for some penguin.
Oh, yeah. Some fricassee penguin.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about it getting, it's cold. It's right there on the ice.
Right.
Who doesn't? Some good penguin. Yum. I'm going to name some dishes. You give me a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awesome
Okay.
and 0 being pass.
Okay.
Okay. Lindsay, you're in on this too.
Okay.
10 being
Let's
awesome,
start.
0
Let's
being
start
nothing.
basic,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Spaghetti.
Oh, no.
Lindsay.
Oh, 10.
Okay. Gimpy.
3.
Okay. Fettuccine Alfredo. You can
10.
You can say 10.
Could I say 11?
Gimpy?
Oh.
What kind? Is it seafood or is it chicken?
This is just the cheese. This is
Just
no
the
chicken. No.
sauce
Yeah.
and noodles?
Yeah.
0.
Okay. Manicotti. So manicotti, for those who don't know, it's a ricotta. Mostly the time it's a ricotta-based filled noodle.
Big ol' honking noodle too.
It's a 6 for me.
Okay.
That's a 0 for me, dog.
Okay. Stuffed shells.
6.
Okay. Gimpy.
2.
Wow.
If that. I'm struggling for a 2, bro.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Lasagna.
3.
Wow. Gimpy.
Who's making it?
Whoever your favorites is.
It's even my mom's lasagna. That would rank like a 2 or 3 for me, and that's because it's mom's. So lasagna, just in general,
Yeah.
that's a 1.
Chicken Parmesan. Chicken Parmigiana.
9.
Never had it.
What?
Crazy.
It feels crazy.
Yeah. So that's going to be a 0 for me, dog.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Chicken. Oh my gosh.
Is it the eggplant and the?
Nope.
That
nut?
one's good too.
That's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't.
All right. Chicken piccata. Chicken piccata is the lemon chicken. I know. It's lemon.
Yeah, 7.
That's 0.
Oh my
Like we went to that fancy Italian place for the boss that what was it last week, his lunch or whatever. And I'm looking at the menu, I was like,
Mondo's great Italian restaurant.
Mondo's, I respect them and what they do. It's just Italian is not for me. I'm like, I don't know what to get. Everything on the menu had either mushrooms or lemon on it. And I was just like, what's this stuff with the shrimp? Sounds good. I'll eat the shrimp over the noodles, which is exactly what I did.
I mean, I wanted to see. All right, so let's just go with a couple things here because I'm trying to find fried mozzarella.
I mean, that's just deep
10.
fried cheese. But even then, I want to give it like a 4.
Calamari.
10.
Calamari. I'll go ahead and give that like maybe a 6 or something because I've had calamari at other places that's not Italian food.
Bruschetta or bruschetta.
10.
Was that the fancy bread?
It's toast. Most of the time, it's toasted little pieces of bread with tomatoes and olive oil and balsamic and basil. And
Yes,
stuff.
the extremely stale bread that you chip a tooth on every time you eat it. That's a 0.
Let's see. Let's get it. Spaghetti and meatball ravioli.
Lindsay?
6.
Only if it's Chef Boyardee. Which actually his name was Chef Boyardee, but we had to Americanize it by saying
Give me your rating, Mr. Wikipedia.
1,
Tortellini,
4.
2.
peppers and onions.
That's it. Like no sausage to put them on,
It's
or
sausage,
anything?
peppers, and onions. It's typically
But like a
4.
bun, you know? I mean, I guess with the sausage, peppers, and onions, I give it like a 3, 4, maybe even.
fettuccine carbonara,
What's the carbonara part?
bacon.
Oh.
That's a 5.
What?
1.
Eggplant parmigiana,
Yeah, that's 8.
That's a big 0 for me, homie.
meatball sub,
Oh, God.
5.
This is getting worse and worse the further we go down. 0, man. That stuff is too messy. It doesn't eat well. You have to have a fork to eat a sandwich. I think that's retarded.
Oh, I liked it. Gnocchi.
What? Huh? Oh, okay. I've had that come in like a Hello Fresh or something like that once. And I was like, what is this? What is this garbage?
Oh, you didn't enjoy it?
Lindsay.
5.
0.
Oh my gosh.
I know it sounds crazy, but like when it comes to like the Big Ten of restaurants and foods and stuff, Italian's at the bottom of that list for me, man.
Somebody texted in and said, you think Zio's is delicious? You got to try Luigi's and Skytook. So authentic. I think it's run by the actual Italian mob. I've had Luigi's and Skytook. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. I like, it's not like I go to Zio's and I order one of everything.
Right.
Right. I worked there after college and their 5 cheese pasta, adding chicken to it was so good.
Yeah.
Their spinach artichoke dip, which isn't Italian, whatever, but it was so good.
Mm-hmm. I just like the brown paper on the tables that give you crayons.
The cannoli, yeah, I know how to write my name upside down. Cannoli, with the Alfredo and the chicken stuff, so good there.
I'll give you that. I'll give you the Italian dish, the cannoli. That's delicious, just because it's cheese and powdered sugar.
No. That's the dessert.
I know.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
That's the only Italian food that I really, 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 really like is a good old cannoli.
We haven't gotten to the real one. Pizza.
I've said it before, and you all thought I was crazy.
1 to 10.
1 to 10, a pizza. That's going to be a 3 for me. So low on the scale, man.
Lindsay.
10.
Yeah.
Always.
Pretty much all those except peppers and onions that we've mentioned are about anywhere between an 8 and a 10 for me.
Really?
See, I love peppers and onions. I don't love the heartburn, but man, it's almost worth the heartburn for me.
A good bolognese pasta.
Well, Italian food. They are the Beatles for me.
A nice short
food.
short rib braised ragu.
Ragu, the sauce in a jar.
So it's just no. So good. I'm telling you, man, Italian food.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to read this headline. This is real. Horses sue the federal government over them being exiled to an island.
Did you get that from The Onion?
No.
Horses
Hired
a lawyer. And they're like, hey.
From what
Mr. Ed.
I know you want to say nay, but
I mean,
so they're suing the federal government and the national park. Win Today and Jelly Donut have brought a lawsuit by just kidding. That's
okay. I was gonna say
horses always have like stupid names.
Right.
They never end in E like a dog's does.
Right.
Anyway, a lawsuit brought by 2 animal rights groups, an environmental activist, and a woman who lives on Georgia's. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Qualifying people for golf and beer for a year. You got to listen every hour to get qualified. And Sean Martin of Pahuska heard the cue. So now Sean's in the running to win a case of Corona Premier Light Beer and a round of golf for 2 at Birdie Bay every month for the next 12 months. Just a few days left to get qualified. Another chance coming up in 54 minutes. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. Godsmack is going to be at Rocklahoma this year, but if you just can't get enough Godsmack in your life, they're touring with Stained, and we'll send you to see them both in this city of your choice. We'll take care of your flights, hotel, and everything. You'll even meet both bands before the show. All you have to do is go to KMOD.com for all of the details.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Real quick, what if they're not playing in the city that I choose?
That's a problem.
Hey, man, if you want to communicate with us, you can always call. You can always text, BMS, and what you got to say to 82945, or you can use this handy-dandy talkback feature that is on the iHeartRadio app, the little lady microphone at the corner. You just push it down and mash and say what you got to say.
Time for Our Listeners Are Awesome. This is where we talk to a listener and we talk about their life with them. They share all the things that they've overcome. And on with us right now is JP. Hey, JP, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
Good, man. JP, you're married. How long have you been married?
8 years, I think. I better get that right.
Yeah, you better.
How did you meet her?
Ironically, at her sister's birthday party.
At her sister's okay. And why were you friends with her sister?
Yeah, you could say that. We were roommates.
Oh, okay. And so you're at your roommate's birthday party and you see this fine, foxy woman show up and you put your moves on?
Oh, absolutely not. It didn't even happen like that at all. Not long after the birthday, her sister had moved to another town, and she had left me her family numbers in case we lost touch, and we did. And I texted both her sisters asking if anybody had heard from her. Was she doing all right? And next thing I know, me and the one sister, we just kept texting, and it just kept on and on and on.
Huh.
Wow.
That's a great story, man. That's awesome.
Were you and your roommate ever roommates with benefits?
No.
Okay.
No. She was the girlfriend of my roommate, to clarify. How's that? So she lived with, yeah.
Okay.
It says here, or for those that don't know, we've mentioned you before as the voiceover guy, and you've sent them things into the talkback feature that Gimpy was just talking about. And how did you get into doing voiceover stuff?
Ironically, I started doing comedy as a teenager, and it was terrible. When you're a teenager, you can't really talk about anything negative. But I always had a knack for doing voices and performing, and I'd gone to broadcasting school myself. Thought I wanted to be it's just I learned I loved production, and so that's kind of where it took off. But then I had to set it down for a while. You have a life, you have things that happen. I have a wife, a kid, a mortgage. So I was driving a truck, and when you're driving a truck and you're only home 10 days a month and you got a 4-year-old at home, it's like something's got to give. So I gave that up and got a local job and thought I would try and do my own mom and pop like production company. Unfortunately, I've since learned how much the internet and big corporations have killed that industry. But even so, I'm still trying it. And I've got pretty lucky to meet some good people, and they're trying to help me along because they believe in me.
You said you did comedy. How many years did you try to do comedy?
2.
Okay. And what would you say, because we get people all the time that call in or stop us and are like, oh, I do comedy. And I always kind of chuckle at that because that's not a thing. Like, that's really, really, really hard to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I can, especially when you're 13 and you're in, my grandfather enrolled me in some little kids talent group, and we toured the state doing shows. And again, I couldn't really talk about anything that I thought was funny. It was mostly just plagiarizing Milton Berle.
Fair.
Which is fine. So you were in a talent troupe that toured the state?
Yeah, it was called the Oklahoma Kids.
How did you get it hooked up with that? Like, how did you find it?
That was all my grandfather. He was really big back in the day about managing talent and trying to put people in shows. That was kind of his passion. He used to manage Ronnie Dunn before Brooks and Dunn. And so he had a knack for that.
And so where would you guys perform?
Well, we'd do state fairs and festivals. One time they did like an Oklahoma Crime Commission's meeting downtown. And so they sent us down there to do that, which that was kind of, so-so. But the coolest part was they were filming a movie in Muskogee at the time, and I got a chance to meet some of the crew that were there, staying at the hotel because they were in between a shoot, I guess. So I got to have breakfast with John Lithgow and Malcolm Jamal Warner, and
That's cool.
That's spectacular.
Was that Theo from
Yes.
the Cosby Show?
Yeah.
How about that?
What?
Yeah, they were filming the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yes.
In Muskogee.
Wow. Okay. How many dates did you do? What was the name of the talent troupe?
Oklahoma Kids.
How many dates did the Oklahoma Kids do?
3 or 4 a month.
Okay.
Wow.
How much did you get paid per gig?
No, there was no pay.
What?
Grandpa took all the money.
Grandpa took the money.
No, it was strictly just like I guess it was kind of like a youth thing, kind of keep kids off the streets kind of thing, and instead they had us dressing up and doing song and dances and our own little sticks.
Dude, no. Grandpa was taking a booking fee. They were booking that. You think the Oklahoma Crime Commission didn't pay to have entertainment? Okay, so what were some of the other people's talents that they had?
Well, there was this one girl. She was from Ada. Her name was Lacey Bailey, and she was a singer, and she was really good. In fact, she had gone to Las Vegas for some vocal competition, and a talent scout sought her out and actually booked her in a movie, which she went and filmed in Little Rock. But then they cut her out completely, and that was Sling Blade.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if a singing part of Sling Blade would make much sense.
Well, if you recall, there's a scene where the little boy is with Billy Bob Thornton sitting next to a pond, and he's talking about how him and his girlfriend Karen, used to come here and hold hands, but he was poor and she was rich.
Yeah.
And so the relationship. Originally, I guess the original draft of the script, it was the boy and his girlfriend befriend this guy. So she went and filmed the whole thing, and then they cut her out of it. But her name is still on the credits. So you'll see on the cast list, there's a Karen there, and it says Lacey Bailey, but she's not in the movie.
Dang. Well, then did she ever do anything else, or was that too traumatic and she never, picked up a microphone again?
I don't know. I kind of lost touch.
Yeah, dude, that is a fantastic story. So you did that for a couple years, gave up on the comedy, and just grew up after that. It says here that the voiceover stuff you do now, it says you were the first person to be a voiceover artist at the church studio.
Well, that's what they told me, but I think that's the current owners. I don't know. I recorded a demo there. And with all the history there, if you know anything about the church, it's an amazing place. And so, yeah, I like to tote that around because how many people get to say they were a first at the church?
Yeah, it's the remodel it's a gorgeous facility. How much did that cost?
They actually gave me a really good deal, so I don't feel like I really want to say it, but it was less than $300. I'll say that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, moving on to other things, because you've got this crazy thing that I can't imagine what this was like. It says that your friend died in your arms. How old were you?
This was just back in April of 2020. Yeah.
What happened?
Well, of course, I was at the height of the beginning of the Corona pandemic, and he had been having all these chest pains, and he thought, he didn't have Corona, but he thought if he went to the hospital, he thought he would catch it. So he stayed in his room. He was actually staying with us at the time because he had lost everything, and we were trying to help him get back on his feet. And one night I'm just gaming at 1:30 in the morning, and he comes crawling out of his room trying to use the bathroom and ends up passing out, banging his head on the sink, blood everywhere. And then I have to roll him over and get him to breathe again and call the ambulance. And of course they were taking COVID precautions, but it was turns out it was a pulmonary embolism.
Dude.
Oh my God.
So
yeah, he was 40.
Wow. And so it wasn't COVID or anything like that, but so he was in some agony for a while.
Yeah, for a couple of days. He thought he was having heart issues, and he tried to mow the lawn and passed out mowing the lawn. And I'm like, because I was gone at the time. I was over the road, so I was only home a couple of days a week. I'm like, dude, just relax. I tried to get him to go to the hospital, and he just wouldn't do it because he was afraid of COVID. And I think that's one thing I have to live with is I couldn't convince him to go get checked out, because apparently a blood clot from your leg to your lung is treatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
that's,
that one was rough.
yeah, but that's not you. I mean, you use the phrase, I couldn't convince him, but you can do all the trying to convince you want. If it's up to somebody, man, that ain't you. At least you said something.
Yeah.
You did something.
Yeah, I still wear that one though.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a lot, man. Do you still live in that same place?
I do.
When did you they had, I just can't comprehend living in the same place after someone watching somebody die somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I haven't made it in voiceover yet, so I can't afford anything better. But I mean, the house has so many positive memories too. I mean, that's the first home my son came home to. That's where me and my wife. That was our first house, and and yeah, I still think about it. But I'm a guy. I can't admit it. But we have plans to move on. But
Yeah.
you got to have the means.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where was his family? Did you have to contact his family and tell them about him?
Well, that was just it. He didn't really have any family. His mother was the other woman. So he was the bastard son of an affair. And I guess he had a couple half siblings, but they didn't want anything to do with him. And then he literally had nobody, hence why he was living with us. Like we were his family.
So you helped take care of burial and all that stuff.
Yeah, I had him cremated, and I've got him and his mom's ashes still there. I haven't made it down to Florida to get rid of the shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot, man. It says here that you got carjacked while you were trying to help somebody. Well, tell me about trying to help somebody. Were they broken down the side of the road? Tell me how that.
The fun part is it was three somebodies, and I was actually coming home from my then girlfriend, now wife's birthday, and it was about midnight, and this was 2009, 2010. But I'm driving through my neighborhood trying to get home to eat my Taco Bell, and I see these three guys broke down on the side of the road, and it's dark out, and I'm not trying to. I was like, man, just keep driving. But then I thought, man, if that's me, and then I was like, yeah, don't be an asshole. So I thought I would stop and try to help them, which the car was busted. It was fluids. I mean, the motor was gone. So I decided I'd give them a ride. Well, the ride was to 46th Street North in Cincinnati at midnight.
I'm not helping anybody at midnight.
No.
And so you're helping them, and then they steal your car, or someone else approaches and steals your car?
Well, funny enough, I take them to the house they requested, and they all three hop out, but they live in a dead end. And so I have to go down there, turn around, and come back. And as I come back, one's gone into the house. The other two are standing in the middle of the road asking if I could then give them a ride to the gas station, and they'll show me a shortcut through the neighborhood. And I want to say no, but they're kind of blocking the road. And so, yeah, I saw it coming.
And so what do? They pull you out of the car. They just tell you to get out of the car. They hit you. What happens?
Well, I follow this route that they're taking, and eventually we end up in another dead end. And I'm like, great. So I didn't even get a chance to put it in park. One of them slid over and hit me, grabbed the steering wheel, put his foot on the brake. The other one ran around, put a gun in my face. Then they pulled me out of the car. They hit me around a couple times, and they decide they make me lay face down in a ditch. And then as they go to leave, the one with the gun is like, you know what? I want to shoot this guy. And me, not knowing what to say in the moment, I said, like, I don't know. Is that really necessary? I mean, what are you going to say?
Yeah.
But, so
I don't know. Don't
He
shoot
starts-
would be one.
he starts coming at me with the gun, and the one behind the wheel was like, I'm not trying to get that smoke. So he just leaves without the guy, and the guy turns around and chases down my truck. And then I just watch him drive off into the horizon.
Okay, so you get up out of the ditch,
Yeah.
brush yourself off, and then what? Call the police?
Well, no, I didn't have my phone. It was in my truck. I'm out of this neighborhood at 46th Street North in Cincinnati at 1 a.m. I'm a white guy running around knocking on doors, and nobody wants to open the door. But eventually, this sweet lady opens the door, and she lets me call the cops. And so I even took the cop by the house I dropped them off at, but the cops never did anything. They just thought maybe it was a drug deal gone wrong or something. And yeah.
So they didn't believe your story?
I got the feeling they didn't. They didn't do anything with it, but I did get my truck back a week later. They had ditched it at some old club on 11th Street, and my brother and my nieces happened to be driving by, and they saw my truck, so I was able to get my truck back.
So the police didn't even recover your truck.
No, and what's funny is I told my brother, I got this extra set of keys. Let's drive the truck back to that house and park it there, and then I'll call the cops. But didn't do that.
Yeah. Was there any damage to your car? Yeah. Was there any damage to your car or like trash in it?
Oh, none at all.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And you were left hungry too.
Right.
Your
Did you get to
Taco
finish your
Bell.
Taco Bell?
Oh, no, they took my Taco Bell too.
Sons
That
of
was when
the-
they had those bowls. You remember the bowls? they used to do? Yeah, I wanted my bowl, man.
Yeah.
So is that
Heartless.
has that deterred you from helping people?
I wish I could say yes, but no. I come from after the whole kid thing and doing comedy, I had quite a few dark years where I I actually committed suicide at one point, if I can say that.
Yeah. Of course you can.
But luckily, I was revived. But I was apparently legally dead for about 3 minutes.
How did you try to kill yourself?
I used a belt and I hung myself. And next thing you know, it's all dark, and then I'm getting woke up by an 83-year-old woman with a mustache giving me CPR.
Excuse me?
Okay.
Yeah.
So how old are you when you decide to do this?
This was 2000, so I was 19.
Oh man. And so you go and what? You're staying in your place you do this, or where do you decide to do this?
Actually, at that time, I was in a shower in a juvie hall.
Why were you in juvie?
I'm not saying I didn't do stuff to get in trouble, but in this case, it was something I didn't even do. I just 2 years through the legal system, didn't know anything, took a bad plea bargain, but I had done enough. I was pretty reckless.
What was the plea bargain you took?
10 months inside. That's what the plea bargain I took was.
Yeah, no, I guess what I'm asking is typically when we hear comments like this, we're all innocent here type of thing. It's usually something that people go, yeah, you should probably get in trouble for that. So I'm curious to what crime they pinned on you that caused you to have to go to the juvie.
Yeah, that one's really, I don't know, man. I ended up with, they tried to accuse me of something really heinous, and didn't matter how many lie detectors I took, but I ended up taking a plea for a count of indecent exposure.
So what, they tried to get you on rape?
No, they ironically, when I was 16, I was working at a fast food joint, and a guy tried to say that I slapped his kid on the bottom as she walked by, and she said I didn't do it, and I took all their profiles, and but we fought over it. It turns out he was just after money. He was trying to sue the fast food joint. But I ended up going to court for 2 years and did all their psych evals and did all their lie detectors, and none of it matters. It only matters if you fail those things.
And so you go through all that stuff. You're in juvie, and while you're in juvie, you go, I want to end my life.
Well, yeah, at the time they had charged me as a youthful offender, which means I could be bridged over into the adult system and move on from the small pen to the big pen. And here I've lost everything. I had college scholarships at the time. I had a girlfriend. I had a life, and I was losing everything. And then on top of that, the world was trying to convince me that I was some kind of monster. And I would never tell them I did it. I was like, no, I guess for me, the biggest vindication is time, because if anyone's really that kind of a pervert, they don't just stop being a pervert.
Yeah.
So for me, time is my biggest vindication, because I've never had anything else. I'm just trying to live the best life I can with what I can get.
Yeah. And so what's the time you go, I want to end my life, to you getting up on a table and etching Red Was Here or whatever? And
well, I was in there for about 8 or 9 months, and I'd gone to another court hearing. And of course, at the time, I still wasn't saying I would do it. I wouldn't admit guilt to anything. And my future is in doubt. We don't know what's going to happen, if I'm going to go, ship off to the big boys, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I want it out.
man, that's intense, dude. When you reflect back to that time and how close you came to ending your life and where you are now, and the accolades we've talked about, your kid, marriage, what do you think about?
Honestly, my wife saved my life. She really did. Because when you have something like that, nobody wants to talk to you. No one wants to hang out with you. Nobody wants to give you a job. Nobody wants to give you a shot. And I met her, though, and she saw the real me. And so for the first time in a long time, I actually had something to live for. So, yeah, we got together. And several years later, I started late. We had a kid. I was 36 at the time. So I've got a 5-year-old now. And there's nothing I wouldn't do for him, which is why I'm trying so hard to do something better.
Yeah. That's a lot, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot to digest. Not to mention the other things we've already talked about. Almost dying, getting carjacked, your friend dying. That's a lot.
Well, that was my third friend I had to bury. I had 3 friends growing up, and I've not lost all 3 of them.
Did the other 2 die in your arms as well?
No, one was a car wreck, and one was, heart failure. He was born with a rare condition where he only had 2 valves in his heart. So he wasn't even supposed to live to be 5. And that guy, you want to talk about heroes. I mean, he was like a real life Walter Mitty. He lived in Fiji. He lived in Africa. He lived in Chicago, New York, Alaska. I mean, he was everywhere, but he was nowhere longer than 2 years.
Just because they were onto him, or because he was trying to
live
Well,
life?
at the time I thought he knew he wasn't going to get a full life, which is why he never settled down. And I thought he was just out living the most he could in his lifetime. But near the end, when I was talking to him, it became tragically apparent that what he was doing was he thought he was helping everyone here who loved him by not being stable, by not being around. He thought by distancing himself, he would make it easier on them when he finally went.
Man, I'm sorry, brother. You had to go through that. That stuff's not easy, but I'm glad you came on the air with us and talked about all that stuff, JP. And thanks for taking the time and, keep chasing the rabbit, man.
Like I said, I've got really lucky. I'm working with some, I don't need the name drop, but I'm working with some really big people right now. So hopefully something comes from it.
Well, I hope it works out for you, man. Just keep grinding out and doing the best you can. That's all you can do. But like I said, I appreciate you taking the time, and we'll talk again soon.
All right. Thanks.
All right, buddy. That's JP. Our listeners are awesome. We'll take a break, and we'll be back.
The Big Mad Morning Show returns next. Tulsa's
I said the assaults that are happening in hotel rooms and the lack of security people are putting on themselves when they stay in hotel rooms.
And what kind of hotel was it?
It was a Hilton.
So a nicer hotel with probably a hotel bar. Maybe since he was the night manager, he had been watching him. Maybe he was at the hotel bar drinking. And so maybe he knew how late he was up.
Okay.
So he knew that he would be passed out.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Following you back to your room, sir.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm a dork. I put a chair in front of the door.
Right.
So if you open the door, you're going to bang the chair.
Yeah. You're definitely getting kicked in the face, right? It's not wrong. If you wake up and somebody is sucking your toes, right, you can kick them in the face and be in the right.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're in your space. They've breached the door, right?
Yeah.
I just think that the octane of what's happening is going to throw you off. And so, and that person is aware that they may get caught.
Mm-hmm.
So they're skedaddling, they're Scooby-Dooing out of there.
Right,
when you're like, hey, what's happening?
Why is my toe so wet?
What? And then that person's gone before you can really get your wits about you.
Right, because you just woke up and you're like, what's going on?
You don't wear glasses.
Yeah.
Open up the door to see who just ran outside and they're gone already.
Yeah.
Mother and daughter kill and grill grandma. See, now that's a headline. This happens in Maryland.
Hats off for the rhyme.
Yeah, right. See, that was
a good headline.
You told me you just pointed out a missed opportunity, and I was like, well, I got one too. So I just changed it real quick.
I love it. Well done.
Mother and daughter kill and grill grandma. What happened was this happens in Maryland, where police were sent to the home of a 71-year-old Margaret Craig for a welfare check. Margaret hadn't been heard or seen of from the last couple of days. All right. Well, for a couple of days, because they think that this all happened towards the end of May. So the police go over there and they do the welfare check, and that's when they can smell the decomposing body coming from a basement. Okay. So they go down there and they search, and that's where they found 3 different plastic bags with human remains in it, rotting away in the basement. So the story goes that Margaret accused her daughter, who is 44 years old, Candace Craig, of credit card fraud. So that led to an argument betwixt Margaret and Candace, which led to Margaret's death. Okay. So flash forward a little bit. They say that the 19-year-old daughter of Candace, a woman named Celia Hardy, found the body of Margaret in a plastic bin and then decided to help dismember and dispose of the body. They believe that the two women used a chainsaw to cut Granny's body up and then threw the body parts on a grill and a bonfire in attempts to burn and destroy the body parts. Either way, they searched the house. They say that the remains were so badly decomposed that you can't do a physical identification of the body. So they're hoping, and they're 98% sure that DNA testing is going to come back and say, yeah, this is definitely Margaret. Nonetheless, both women were arrested. Candace is being popped for murder, and then Celia has been arrested and being charged with accessory after the fact.
It's one thing to kill somebody, I think.
Uh-huh.
I think it's a completely other to dismember them,
Yeah.
and another for it to be Meemaw.
Right. The human body contains a lot of blood, like more than I want to see at one point in time. So I feel as soon as you start hacking away with a chainsaw, that's just going to be a bloody mess everywhere.
It's like putting together a swing set in your backyard. You're like, I can do this. And then you get in, you're like, I'm going to need some help.
Right. So you call your kids to come help you put the swing set together.
Yeah. If you've ever put together a swing set in the last 5 years, it shows up and you're like, okay, yeah, I could do this. And then on day 2, you're like, we'll put that on later.
Right. Kids don't need a swing, do they?
Yeah.
Nah.
I think the monkey bar sat in my garage for a good year.
They're not going to be able to reach up there and grab it anyway.
Right, exactly. Do you think Mima was a bad person, abusive, maybe?
Are you justifying
have
it?
to be?
Are you implying that if she was, then she probably should be dismembered?
No. But would she have to be for it to be like,
You brought it up.
okay?
You brought it up. You tell me.
Well, I look at Dexter, like the show Dexter. It was like he was almost like the good bad guy because he was taking out bad people.
No, Dexter was a horrible person.
Oh, see, I looked at him as a good bad guy. He was taking out bad people.
Like a Robin Hood sort of thing. That instead of
Yes.
robbing the rich and giving to the poor, we're just killing bad people.
Uh-huh.
Jack the Ripper is another one, killing the whores of the world.
Yes.
If you think that's
If-
bad.
yeah.
Yeah, Dexter was not a good person.
I thought so. I thought he was good.
But he was hurting people. He was killing people for minor things, not huge infractions.
Some
You
of them.
bumped into me at the grocery
No.
store.
Yeah.
no,
Some of them,
No.
sure, but not all of them.
No, he wasn't doing it for bumping into me
How
at the grocery
dare you
store.
take the last bagel at work?
I've got the longest running game shows in television history.
Fun.
You want to guess one?
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy's on here.
Yeah. Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune, of course.
Mhm.
That's
The
what brought
Price
us.
is Right.
Price is Right, of course.
Okay. So those are the 3 basics. What about Press Your Luck?
No.
Yeah.
So, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Really?
22 years. Password, 23 years.
The Pyramid.
What's My Line? 24 years. Pyramid, 25 years. Let's Make a Deal, 35 years.
Wow.
Now, does that count? Because it wasn't 35 years consecutive. It was
Right.
It was the Monty guy for a while, and then they brought it back with Wayne Brady. So I guess mash them together it works.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be consecutive, like Price is Right, Wheel of Fortune, and Jeopardy. Those are all consecutive years.
Yeah, I think if you work at KMOD and then take a break and come back, you get X number of years,
Okay.
right?
Alrighty then.
Ooh.
Family Feud, 40 years.
Okay.
I was
Wheel of Fortune, 48 years. Jeopardy, 54 years. This show I've never heard of because it's in another country. Des Sheriffs et de Lettres.
Sure, easy for
Numbers and Letters, 56 years. It's still on today. Price is Right, 60 years.
So that's the longest. Price is Right.
Price is Right, yeah, is the longest one. Or is it going to be a thing that comes out like it did with Bob Barker that he had to kind of step away because
He old.
Mhm.
he like a miscusi.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. Yeah. He, well, it was a different time then.
Right. I don't change his empathy towards humans.
Right.
60 years is a long time, though,
Yeah.
for a
Mhm.
game show.
Yeah, for sure. It just makes me wonder how long those are going to be on. Are they going to keep doing it? They're going to revamp it, make it different so they can keep that name going? Because really, that's all that they're, I mean, people are going because of the name. People were watching because of the name, because they watched it growing up. You know, everybody knows that when you're sick and you're staying home from school, you're watching The Price is Right.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think shows like Price is Right is a different game show, obviously, than like Jeopardy or Wheel, because they have to technologically evolve.
Mhm.
Okay.
They have to evolve the show and the games.
Right.
You can have some classics, but you've got to introduce new games on
Okay.
Price is Right, because technology changes and people's understanding of things changes.
That makes sense.
Wheel of Fortune, it's spin a wheel,
Mhm.
earn points.
It's
Now, good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Apparently on the BET Awards, they gave an update about Jamie Foxx, that he's doing well. And that's it. And, they don't owe us anything. They don't have to say anything. But it seems weird that they're like, he must be in really bad shape.
Right. I can believe that's all they said was like, Jamie Foxx, he good. On to the next
No,
award.
he's doing well.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right. About Jamie Foxx, he's doing well. On to the next award.
That's not good, right?
Right.
That's not, he's great.
Right. But it's not bad either.
No, he's doing well.
He's doing well.
If he was worse yesterday, but better today, that's well. He's doing well.
I guess you're right.
He could still be bad.
Right.
I just am fascinated by the fact that they don't share too much information.
I wonder
Right.
why. Wonder why.
Nah,
What's-
privacy, dude.
I guess.
Was he supposed to host the show? Maybe, and then because of what happened,
I don't know.
because if anything, I mean, why even say anything at all? Unless he was going to be there or performing or hosting.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
he's normally in attendance and a
Mhm.
contributor or whatever. But the idea that they feel the need to give it's just not really an update.
That's not. There's no information coming out. There's nobody knows what's going on with him. And I get it. You want your privacy, but I think when you're a star of that caliber, I think your privacy is out the window.
Yeah.
Well, I always say, like, you don't have to don't give updates.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually had forgotten that he was in the hospital
Right.
until I saw that.
Mm.
And now I'm like, oh, yeah. Why?
Still in the hospital.
Yeah.
Still.
A recovery hospital, which is a little bit different,
Right.
right? Hospital implies like,
Right.
Yeah.
beep, beep, beep,
But the
all that
place
stuff.
he went to is like for stroke victims and stuff, right? I think
Yeah.
we talked about that.
Yeah, you got to relearn everything.
Yeah. So maybe that's what the case is. He had a severe stroke and, we're trying to get him back on track again.
The part that's crazy is if you would have to, like suddenly see him
Uh-huh.
and he's like in a wheelchair and like
Ooh.
really severe. If he had a really severe stroke,
Right. A little crypt up, his little face is.
yeah,
Mhm. Yeah,
that would be that kind of stuff's hard to see.
for sure. Because leading up until now, seemingly healthy, right?
Right.
Never really had any word about him being in the hospital or being sick or anything at all. And then all of a sudden, pow, you're in the hospital for what? It's been like, 4 months now?
And he's young, man. 55's young.
Yeah.
55's young. So you see that and you go, oh, man,
Mhm.
that feels crazy. But it was very bizarre to see that update. And then I read that Bam Margera left rehab.
Again.
Well, that's a big surprise.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
come on, man. That's exhausting.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yep. He doesn't want the help. He doesn't want to get straightened up. If he really did, I think he would Because he's been in, what, 3, 4, 5 dozen times?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think if he really wanted to straighten up, then he would do it.
I don't think you're wrong,
Mhm.
but I think that's not what he's saying.
Okay.
I don't think he's going, I don't want help.
Mhm.
I think he's going, I don't have a problem. Or
Right.
I've got control of my problem.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But if you've got control of your problem, how come you keep going in and out of rehab, bro?
Well, they won't let me see my kid. And what am I
Exactly.
supposed to do? I
Mhm.
can't.
Mhm.
I've got to have an outlet.
Well, see, now that's just a bunch of damn hooey, right? Because it's like, all right, well, if you want to see your kid, you're going to have to get straightened up. So will you go get straightened up for a week, go see your kid
Sure.
for a couple of days, and then
Sure.
back off the wagon again?
Sure. People do it all the
That's what
time.
he's doing.
If they let that happen, right? We don't know if that's what happened, but I'm just giving like an excuse you would hear somebody say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they won't let me work, or they won't let me go to my house, or they won't let me have my money, or
Right.
whatever that is. It's really tragic, man.
That is.
It's really tragic to see somebody like that. That growing up, we saw him put on like a pedestal.
Yeah.
Like he was MTV royalty.
Right,
Mhm.
right. We got bumped for Rob Deerdick now.
Yeah.
I just say that because that's all they show is stupid
It's on all the
ridiculousness.
time,
is
isn't
on
it?
All the time.
Yeah.
Did they own all the rights to it?
I guess they got nothing else they could put on. Nothing at all. You can't go retro and put some music videos on or something. We got to watch ridiculousness for 24 hours a day.
I mean, that show has pretty much been replaced by TikTok or Instagram, right? I don't need the commentary from the C-level actors
Right.
that they have on there, celebs.
Mm-mm.
I just want to see the next video.
That's it. And you get it all right there. Absolutely right. On the TikTok, on the YouTube.
They aren't showing a video before I see it on TikTok or YouTube.
I don't know.
No.
No, it's all the old stuff
Yeah,
that you.
that
haven't
stuff
seen.
moves fast, man.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time they get it in production and
It just makes me wonder why.
easy production, maybe
I
easy
guess,
cost.
I guess, yeah. I mean, like, why are we still having the show on? Because ridiculous is enough. It's been around for, what do you think? 10 years?
It could be
Oh,
just
probably
syndication.
at least.
Okay. That's true. I didn't think about that.
It could be just syndication, and that like just the amount of money they're making from, they've already paid for it,
Right.
but I think it's still in production.
First episode was 2011. So over 10 years now.
Yeah, it's still in production.
So they're still making this
Wow.
show, huh?
Yeah,
But why?
dude, and there's international versions of it.
Oh.
That's a brand that they've made huge.
29
I
seasons.
guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But how? Come on.
Ridiculous Chile, Ridiculous Made in France, some bubs of Spanish in Spain, Ridiculous MTV,
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculousness Africa, Mexico, Sweden, Poland, Netherlands, Italia, Denmark, Arabia.
Damn.
I wonder if it's like the same, like all these hosts in the different countries kind of host it the same way that Rob does.
Dude, they
You
don't have
know?
to do anything.
Right.
The production is set up. They send the shell,
Uh-huh.
and then they have whoever the celebrities in those countries.
Right.
It's a cheap sell
I guess it works.
for content.
Yeah.
You just need some schmuck going, ha 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 ha, next.
Right.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show continues next.
And Jade Wellness Center is a dispensary. Still tied 4-4. Deluxe day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary. Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin, you are incorrect. Deluxe is a dispensary. Nature's Kiss.
I think that's both, actually.
Who knows? This is just the
Yeah,
information that
who
was
cares if
given.
it's accurate?
Yeah. All right, Nature's Kiss, day spa or dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
That is correct, my friend. Corbin just made 5-4. Aqua Viva Oasis, day
Lindsay.
spa or dispensary. Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay is correct. All right, so we're tied up 5-5. Fig Medical, day spa or dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, that is incorrect. Fig Medical is a day spa.
I was thinking because like sweets,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
like sometimes you know it smells like
You're
a fig.
thinking medical marijuana.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
All right. All right. Remember, this is for a big prize at the end of the
Sure.
at the end of the game here.
Sure.
You are going to love the prize that I have
Leftovers.
chosen. for you.
Leftovers.
Right, it's a
Okay.
roach.
Right. Right.
Bong
And not
water.
the one you smoke.
It's the crumbs.
Laura Apothecary, Day
Lindsay.
Spa or Dispensary. Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay is incorrect. The
Yeah, it's a
Laura
spa.
Apothecary is a day spa. Lucky Garden, Day Spa or Dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That's a dispensary.
Lucky Garden, Corbin is a day spa. So far, we got 6 to Corbin and 5 to Lindsay. The Health Center, Day Spa or
Oh,
Dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
That is correct. You sound like you've been there before.
To me, the name was just so obvious. There's no
Right.
way you're going to call an actual spa that.
Right, the Health Center. Supreme Heights, Day Spa or
Corbin.
Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin would be correct. All right, so we're looking at 8 to 5, Lindsay.
Okay.
All right, we're down in the home stretch of this thing. All right, the Enchanted Cottage, Day
Corbin.
Spa or Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin is incorrect. That is a day spa.
Why are people calling here asking if we have weed?
Got any specials on an ounce, man?
It's called Enchanted.
Wildflower, Day Spa
Corbin.
or Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
That is incorrect, Corbin. Wildflower is a day spa. All right, Clover Patch, Tulsa, Day Spa or
Lindsay.
Dispensary. Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct.
What's the score?
6 to 8, Corbin's
Okay.
lead. All right, the Merry Mind, Day Spa or
Lindsay.
Dispensary. Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay. The Merry Mind is a dispensary. All right, the Relax Station, Day Spa
Corbin.
or Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a spa.
That is correct. Corbin is up 9 to 6. Path to Wellness, Day Spa or Dispensary.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Dispensary.
Lindsay, Path to Wellness is a
Oh,
day
I'm
spa.
sorry. I thought you said packed.
Oh, yeah. Was that the
wellness.
problem?
Yeah, I thought it said packed.
Sure, yes. Let me enunciate a little bit more, shall we? All right, let's see here. Heirloom, Day Spa or Dispensary. Heirloom, Day Spa or Dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin.
That's a dispensary.
Corbin, Heirloom is a day spa.
Mm.
You're still in the lead 9 to 6. He's okay. Tulsa Garden, Day Spa or Dispensary.
Lindsay.
Lindsay. Day
Spa.
Spa or Dispensary. The Tulsa Garden is a day spa. Good job, Lindsay.
Score.
We're looking at 9 to 7, Corbin's lead. Bella Roma Medical, Day Spa or Dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin.
Dispensary.
Corbin. Bella Roma Medical is a day spa. Stonebrook, Day Spa or Dispensary.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Spa.
Yes, you are correct, Lindsay. We are now 9 to 8, neck and neck. Who is going to win, Day Spa or Dispensary, and walk away with a big, big prize? Stone Age Meds, Day Spa
Corbin.
or Dispensary. Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin. The Stone Age Meds is a dispensary. Uptown Wellness, Day Spa or Dispensary.
Corbin.
Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin. Uptown Wellness is a dispensary.
Really?
We only got 2 left here.
Okay.
All right. So we got a chance to tie it and a breaker if we can do this. All right. Pura, Day Spa or
Corbin.
Dispensary. Corbin.
Dispensary.
Corbin is correct. Pura is a dispensary, puts him with the win 10 to 8. I'll go ahead and give you the last one, see if you can guess it. Stonebrook, Day Spa or Dispensary.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Spa.
Lindsay would have been correct, which wouldn't matter because it's 10 to 9. Corbin is the big winner. Congratulations, Corbin.
What'd I get?
You want to know what you got?
Yeah.
My friend, I tell you, you have won my leftover potatoes. That's right, Corbin. I had
Listen,
dinner last night.
I love it. That's awesome, man. I'm actually kind of hungry, so I think that's a fantastic
This is
gift.
perfect.
And you're not a horrible cook,
No.
so that's great. But, I just think it's just an honor to win. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to Lindsay. She put in a valiant effort.
Listen,
And,
Corbin.
I just appreciate the competitiveness. And, I'm just one guy on a team, and we're just a team trying to make the thing happen. And, it's an honor to be a part of the Ford Truck Series and anything I can do to make this Hilton Hotel team do the best I can.
Well, Corbin, I'm glad that you accepted and decided to give your prize of potatoes to the loser of the game, but that's not all that you're going to win. All right. So not only do you get my leftover dinner from last night, my potatoes and a little bit of steak with some cheese on top, I'm also going to hook you up with a 6-pack of Twisted Tea.
Oh.
Set right up front because nobody wants this. So
Yeah.
I grabbed a pack and you get
Yeah.
to take it home with
Again, you put
Twisted
zero
Tea.
effort into the prize.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just real grateful that this Hilton Honors team did the best thing. Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Coming up, Jeff Hensley's going to join us. If you have a question about divorce, custody, guardianship, any of those things have to do with family law, he can answer them. But you got to get your question to us and can do it a couple ways. You can call it 918-460-KMOD at 9, or you can get your question to us ahead of time via text or email. And that email address is show@kmod.com. Let's see what Lindsay has for Balls to the Wall Sports.
Aaron Rodgers has continued to advocate for the legalization of some psychedelics, claiming this week that ayahuasca helped to improve his performance on the football field. Speaking in Denver, Colorado at Psychedelic Science 2023, which calls itself the largest psychedelic conference in history,
Oh, boy.
the NFL quarterback referred to his experience of using ayahuasca, a drink made from ayahuasca, a drink made from Amazonian plants that contain a psychoactive ingredient. He said, it's going to be hard to cancel me because the previous year in 2019, 26 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. We had a good season. Rodgers, who was then playing for the Green Bay Packers, said, ayahuasca, 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, MVP. What are you going to say? Rodgers has often been the subject of ridicule for embracing alternative therapies, but has previously credited psychedelics like ayahuasca for helping to alleviate his fear of death and deepening a sense of self-love. The NFL has confirmed that taking ayahuasca doesn't violate its drug policy. CNN has reached out to the NFL about psilocybin and its drug policy.
By the way, the hotel bar at this convention, dog.
Yeah,
I would
right.
not drink any of their drinks. That just sounds like a mess, man. Like herding cats, trying to get everybody to stay in one conference room.
I mean, there has been some science that shows that those things can help, but there's also been a lot of science that shows it does not.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That's why it's still in the discovery phase. That's why there's still. So for him, as an impressionable person that can say things and people will go buy his shirt or whatever, I think this is dangerous.
Yeah.
The psilocybin, which is something he wants to legalize too, is they say the mind-altering component of magic mushrooms.
Right.
I don't. Do they need that while playing football?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that would. I don't know if I want to be tackled by someone on it.
Right.
They're all raged out, thinking that you're some kind of, I don't know, panther on the field.
I mean, in terms of
I don't
like, you got to think it'd be like weed or something else.
Uh-huh.
If you're doing a managed amount,
right.
Mhm.
and you're not just raging, then it probably is fine. You wouldn't even know.
Right, because it's microdosing essentially is what it is.
Yeah. But for me, the thing is, there's still a lot of undiscovered. It's not like weed, right?
Mm,
So like weed, you can do a ton and just fall asleep.
Yes.
right.
This you do a ton, and everybody has a dramatically different reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, it's really reckless as a spokesperson to be like, here, this works. Look at, you can be an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
All you got to do is eat these mushrooms, kid. You could be anything you want.
For me, it's more like, well, he's not then a natural talent because now he is on something.
Everybody's on something.
All right.
Everybody's on something. You are constantly looking for an edge,
Mhm.
right? Whether you're taking HGH or you're taking protein supplement or you're taking whatever,
Mhm.
cortisone shots to the knee, whatever. Everybody's on something. You are now creating dollars in revenue. So now it's not about being a great athlete. It's about how can we keep you generating revenue.
Right.
And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay at 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite.
They've been married 10 years. Renew your vows. Make new vows. Tell her you're committed to her and only her. You know, just go and renew your vows. That might win her over. You never know.
Right, a mulligan.
Right.
Yeah, pull a mulligan.
Yeah.
Pull that mulligan card. Pull it all day long.
You said that you've been cheated on multiple times, Brandon. Would that have worked with you?
No, because I stayed with someone who cheated on me 9 times.
Whoa.
Are you
But
blind? Are you blind?
Well, I lived 7.5 hours away from my family at the time. So I was kind of forced just to stick around because I was in a state I didn't know. I wasn't from that state. So I stuck around and rode out the roller coaster.
What was her excuse on the 7th time?
His excuse was I was away from the house for 2 weeks on walk and he got lonely.
So this is your boyfriend.
Yeah, it was my ex.
Yeah.
But when he said that, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I took the call around midnight when he was drunk, took the call, and I left and never looked back.
Had to rip that Band-Aid, huh?
I just left. I was done.
Wait, that was the 7th time.
Yeah. And then
And you
took the
came
call
back.
took the call back because I was like, oh, maybe you changed. Then the 9th time was finally the draw.
For him I'm just being really honest. Him cheating 9 times, do you blame him or yourself?
I blame myself for being blinded by love.
But it wasn't.
Stupidity.
No, it wasn't, though.
No. Yeah, it was not my fault, but I mean, I kept going back,
No, it's your fault. It wasn't love.
It was my own stupidity trying to think I can change someone.
Right. Hope. Well, it was
You can't
hope.
be
You were
changed.
hoping.
Mhm.
You were hoping he'd
Well,
look
yeah.
at. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right on, man. Brandon, have a great day, man.
you too.
All right. See you later.
These texts are good.
Scott is on. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, buddy. What do you think?
You know, let's be real. I love some of the comments, and you guys especially, but let's be real. You're not going to be able to give her a hall pass because we as men are never going to forget that. We're never going to stop dwelling on it. And, you know, we're going to be the demise of that at that point. I think there's only one way to really do it. Either walk away because you can't tell me guilt took over after. You were enjoying it then. You went out for that purpose to go meet somebody. So either open this up to an open relationship, ask her, hey, do you want an open relationship, or walk away now, brother, because you lost it.
Let me ask you, Scott, what would be an argument they would have had that would have not justified him cheating, but going out and being completely reckless? Like what's something?
Well, she would have had to cheat. I mean, the only way I'm ever going to cheat is she walks to me and says she just cheated. I'm walking out. I'm going to get me some, and I'm done with this relationship.
But then, I mean, you're
I mean,
not
let's
really
be real
cheating
as
at that
men.
point, are you, Scott? You're not.
Well,
Mhm.
you know, until that divorce, I get it. But there's no hall pass or dinner or vacation. I agree with her vacation. That means she's not going to forget that. I don't care if 5 years down the road, that's going to be in every argument you have.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well either walk away or open this thing up and let's become swingers.
Just walk up to her
Let's
with a
be real.
pineapple in hand.
Right on, man.
Upside down it, baby.
All right, Scott, have a great day, friend.
You too,
All
guys.
right, see you later.
Got a great idea to fix the situation. Fruit.
I hear that. Like, well, if she cheats, I'm going out right and cheating, and cheating right away. It's going to be like the movie Hall Pass. I'm going to Applebee's and having wings and going to bed at 9. Like,
Yeah.
Right, because that's our routine now.
No,
That's where we're at.
no, I'm don't have the game. Like, what are you talking about? It's not like I'm turning down women every time I go out the door.
You go to the bar, you wait till about, 1:45-ish.
Oh,
You find the biggest woman with the least amount of teeth in her face, and you say, you're coming with me.
I got to be honest. If I'm cheating as revenge, it ain't just going to be on crumbs. Listener email. I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years
Homeless
because
people eat out of garbage cans,
I
Corbin.
made a
You
stupid
beggars
mistake
can't be choosers.
and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, and slept with some woman. Almost immediately, the guilt took over me. She's told me it's over. But I have to try. What can I do to get her or to give our marriage a second chance? Lindsay.
Okay, so he already did the most awful thing he could have done, and that was cheat. But he was honest. So he's got that going for him at least. And if he wants to work things out, he's going to have to take the blame and take whatever is coming to him. If she is pissed, let her be pissed and just take it. Take the anger and just wait it out and see what she wants to do. The ball is absolutely 100% in her court. So whatever she wants, she gets at this point. If you want to stay in this marriage, if she wants to go through therapy, then we're going to go to counseling together. If she wants just you to go to counseling, then you're going to have to go to counseling because the ball is absolutely 100% in her court.
Gimpy.
Yeah, man, there's really nothing you can do, honestly. Just sit back and take your lumps as they are. All right. If she wants it to work, she'll figure it out. She's gonna be mad AF for a long time. And you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with being boring. There's not gonna be any time going out with the boys or going out doing what else, And if you can't handle that, then you need to walk away. You need to realize, well, I effed this one up. I'm just going to go ahead and take my ball and I'm going to go home and then I'll come back and play the game another day. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's nothing really you can do. Just let time pass it on by. That's it.
I'm sorry. I have no gimmick for you that will work. You tell her you want it to work. You made a giant mistake and you're willing to work through it. She doesn't hear that. You got your answer.
Yeah,
it's pretty black and white, man.
Yeah.
You have to eat your S sandwich. And when you go on and date in the future and be asked what happened with your marriage, you got to be honest. You essed the bed royally. And so either you tell her what you want and hope she appeases you, but why beg someone to be with you? I found this list of annoying things people say. I'll say the phrase. You guys tell me if you say it. This is going to be humiliating for all of us.
All right.
Okay.
Annoying things people say.
I don't mean to be rude, but I hate this phrase. You do mean to be rude.
Yeah. That's just like, hey, I don't mean to interrupt. Bye.
That is a weird psychological thing you do as a human being to make yourself feel better. I don't mean to interrupt, but that type of thing.
I don't know if I say that. I don't think I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I say that.
Okay. It's common sense is another one. I've heard people say that.
Yeah. It's common sense, and people are lacking it nowadays.
Yeah.
Of the two we've read, I'm not willing to go all in, but I've never said them.
Okay. I'll be honest. I've said both of those.
I simply have a powerful personality. I've never said that.
No, hell no.
I hate this statement. Let's agree to disagree.
Yeah.
That's just, let's throw in the towel here.
Well, I mean, you arguing back and forth.
Right.
There's not going to be any resolution. Let's just agree to disagree.
I see that as I don't have anything else to argue about. I have nothing left. I have no more ammunition. And I can't accept that I've lost.
Right.
Or I can't accept that I've won or whatever. And so you go to that statement.
You should just stomp your feet and walk away.
It's just a joke.
Oh, geez. Said that.
I've said that.
Yeah.
Several times on the show.
Well, okay. What is said on the show is different than reality.
Right. I get that. I get that. They're just jokes. Say that to the people they're directed to when they take it personally. It's just a joke, man. Calm down.
These are annoying things people say. Let's unpack this. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. Mirror you.
Do you know who I am? I've never said that.
Never.
I never have.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Tristan Walker of Tahlequah heard the cue to get qualified for golf and beer for a year. Last few days of getting qualified for a chance to win a case of Corona Premier Light Beer and a round of golf or two at Birdie Bay every month for the next 12 months. Make sure you're listening to get qualified tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. It's all brought to you by Corona Premier Light Beer and Birdie Bay, where it's always golf weather. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. Mattress actress Jen Teal celebrating her 47th birthday today. She was huge in the 90s, starred in hits like Booty Duty, Saturday Night Beaver, and Where the Boys Aren't, 8 through 13. Fun fact these days, she's a world traveler, wilderness certified first aid hiker, and scuba diver. And looking at her photos, she got better with age.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Looking at her photos, scuba diving isn't the only thing she's diving into. Hi, Rock Oklahoma, Labor Day weekend, Prior USA, Godsmack, Limp Bizkit, a whole bunch more. Get your link for tickets at KMOD.com.
Joining us next to a Cinnabon at some airport is Jeff Hensley from Hensley and Associates. Hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, man. Good. Sorry you're delayed. You're dealing with the probably one of the worst industries going on right now, the airline industry. Have they told you when you'll get home?
Yeah, so they can't get all of my family out on the same plane until tomorrow morning. So we've been delayed 2 days, unfortunately, but because we tried to come home yesterday afternoon. But hey, it is what it is, and luckily my wife has a family that lives where we're at, so we're actually up with them in northern Utah until tomorrow morning, and we'll be back in Tulsa tomorrow afternoon.
A little bit of an extended vacation, but I'm sure it brings some complications. But we're going to move forward and answer questions about family law. Jeff is available to answer those questions right now, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. A text one we got, Jeff says, are there any adoption agencies that work with or you would recommend? We're just starting to tentatively look into adoption and don't know the process.
Sure. There are agencies out there, but a lot of times what you'll do with an agency is looking to adopt children overseas and things like that. Those are the best times to use agencies, especially because when you adopt a child overseas, you're dealing with the Hague Convention requirements and a bunch of other things. But when you're dealing with local adoptions, then you could just give us a call. We can help you with that, whether it be a step-parent adoption or otherwise. So, we'd be happy to do that. But as far as agencies, a lot of times you'll use them, again, for the overseas adoptions. I had a friend a while back that did that for they adopted a child directly from Korea. So China. There's all sorts of agencies for that. But for locally, we would love to help you and be able to help you with that.
So what the first step would be, you need legal representation to do an adoption in the state of Oklahoma?
Correct. Well, it's like any legal issue. Do you have to have an attorney? No. Do you need an attorney? Absolutely, because there's so many ins and outs and there's so many specific things within the laws and the statutes. And of course, we work with the judges every day, so we know exactly who they are and what they want and what they need and what they require. So, you could try and do it. It's always like you say, you can always try and do your own knee surgery, but at the end of the day, that's probably a really bad decision. Same thing with the law.
Jeff Hensley's joining us from Hensley and Associates, answering your questions about family law. A couple ways you can get your question to us, BMMS, and whatever the question is to 82945. You can email show@kmod.com, or you can call it 918-460-KMOD. This one says, a friend wants to know if he can get modified child support so he doesn't have to pay when he has them. I told him it's doubtful since it's based on yearly amounts as monthly payments, but is it even possible?
Well, so, child support is calculated based upon number of overnights. So, the way our calculator, and when I say calculator, it's a program, an Excel program that was designed by DHS, I don't know, however many decades ago, and it gets modified throughout time. Our latest version of it came about in March of this year. But what we do is we put the information in, and overnights is really what plays into it. And then as far as the amount that you owe and lowering it and things like that. So we have a modifier system. And what that means is if you have anywhere from 0 to 120 overnights, You can put any number you want in the system, doesn't matter what that number is, and it's not going to affect your child support amount. To start getting a modifier or a lower amount, you're going to have to start getting numbers above 121. So there's a modifier to bring it down from 121 to 130, and then 131 to 140, and so on and so forth, all the way up to 182 and 183, which is a 50-50 split. So, getting more overnights is what's going to affect your child support amount, but it's got to be above that 120 marker that I was discussing earlier. So, if he has that and it's not been calculated correctly, or he's been getting more overnights, I mean, the statute basically says that if you have been exercising more time for at least 6 months, that qualifies as a reason to modify. And so we can file a motion to modify, get that number increased, lower your child support, and get you going.
Jeff Hensley's joining us from Hensley & Associates, 918-460-KMOD. This question says, after 11 years, if my child does not turn out to be mine, what happens then?
Too late. In the state of Oklahoma, it says that you have to, when you're dealing with paternity, you've got to dispute that paternity within the first 2 years of life. Now, there is one caveat. All right. So, and this is assuming that there are no orders that have previously existed. Okay. Let's say after 11 years, you find out the kid you thought was yours is not, and there's no existing orders on custody or visitation or child support or anything like that. One of the arguments we can make is called the 706B argument. What that is we would basically find somebody or look to see if there's anybody that has held this child out as their own other than you. So in other words, if the child has lived with another father figure and has called that person dad, and that person has held the child out as their own, and those sorts of things, then there's a chance to shift it as far as child support is concerned. As far as, if you've got existing orders that says the kid is yours as paternity, too bad, that's already been established. That should have been argued by age 2, not age 11.
Would you need to do anything if you found out after that amount of time? Like, would I need to file any paperwork to absolve me from the future?
No, I mean, you can't. I mean, that's just the thing, is the way our statute is set up under Title 10, subsection 7700. That's our paternity statute. All the statutes under that number. You have to dispute paternity by age 2. So even if you find out down the road the child is not yours, and there are orders in place and have been orders in place for years, you're kind of too bad at that. It's too bad at that point. Again, if you can find somebody that has held that child out as their own, put them on their taxes, claimed it as their own, all those kind of things, then there's a potential for a 706B argument as far as child support is concerned. So, that is an option as well. But, everything is very fact dependent and every case is different.
That's a very interesting time frame to pick, because let's just say by year 3 or 4, the kid starts developing some facial or whatever things. You go, that doesn't look like me at all. You investigate, you do a paternity test, and then it's not your kid. You're stuck.
If you have an existing order, yeah, that's correct. I mean, if you're with somebody and you're not married and you find after, year 4 or 5, the kid doesn't look like you, and then you do a test, the kid is not yours, you find out your girlfriend cheated or whatever it may be. I mean, at least there's no orders at that point and you can walk away and call it a day. But if you've got orders in place, that's kind of where it's difficult. That's why if you're going to go for orders, all right, or if there's a paternity order that pops up or something, you want to ask for that DNA test. If there's any slight doubts at all in any way, shape, or form, go ahead and get the test done. That way you get A, peace of mind, and B, for a fact whether or not you're going to be on the hook for this kid for the next 18 years for child support.
I know that you are not a counselor, so the next question is more based on the experience you've had dealing with these scenarios, but there is a social abnormality to ask for a DNA test, or you look like you're a bad person if you do. What guidance do you give fathers or even mothers when they're either asked or have to ask to get a DNA test? Because you could easily take offense to that, or even if you wanted to cover it up, you could take offense to it.
Sure. I mean, it's not an easy question to ask. And it's obviously when you ask that question, there's feelings of, hurt and distrust and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's a normal question to ask when you're, if you have any doubts. I mean, if you guys broke up for a short period of time and now you're back together, anything could happen on both sides at that point, whether you be the dad or the mom. So, I wouldn't take an offense to it unless you're obviously, you may be trying to cover it up, but just be honest. Be honest and either fess up at that point or, just do the test, because the father has a right to know if the child is his and whether or not he's going to be on hold, on the hook for it for the next 18 years.
If Gimpy and I have talked off air about like somebody showing up at our door and like, hey, I'm your son, or hey, you have a son or a kid or whatever, that is for sure. You should ask for a DNA test in that, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's like the movie Elf, right? Where Will Ferrell's character shows up and says, "Hi, I'm your son." And they finally do a DNA test to confirm it. I mean, yeah, absolutely. If someone's showing up on your doorstep, you better head to the DNA tester right then to get it taken care of, because there's implications that come if they are, especially if they're an adult. So absolutely go for that test.
So 2 years if you want to say, no, it isn't my kid, but that can show up at any point and hold you responsible.
Potentially. Yeah, absolutely.
Jeff is joining us. Go ahead.
I would say it's a scary world, so be careful. That's why condoms and contraceptives work well.
Not very many people in the industry will give the thing like, hey, this is how you safeguard against needing me. But yeah, this text came in and says, my daughter's friend's 16 mother is locked up and living with her grandma, but she does not want her. What do we need to do a guardianship with her?
Sure. I mean, step one would be give us a call. And I don't talk about that as much, talk about this issue as much, but one thing to make sure when you're going to go for a guardianship is you've got to make sure that you fit the requirements. And the big thing is no criminal background, no felonies, no misdemeanors, no DHS claims against you, those kind of things. But if you meet in which most people fit those criteria to a certain degree, and if you do, then guardianship we can get in place and make sure that the child is taken care of. If mom's in jail, we obviously show at that point that mom is unfit. The next question would be is, where's dad, and is dad unfit? But the main thing about a guardianship is making sure that that child is taken care of until the parents are able to get themselves together. Now, I would say 9 times out of 10. Sadly, that doesn't happen, and you'll stay a guardian until the child turns 18. But there are exceptions to the rule for that, where the parents do finally get their stuff together and they get their lives clean and together, and they come back and get the child. But as far as getting the guardianship, give us a call. We'd be happy to get that set up. If mom's in jail and dad's MIA, there's no emergency there per se, but we would get a general guardianship going and get that taken care of for you. Absolutely.
Jeff Hensley's joining us from Hensley and Associates. This email question says, in a divorce, if one party wants to sell and the other doesn't, what usually happens? Does it depend on who files first? I am assuming they're talking about property.
So it doesn't matter who files first as far as the divorce is concerned. But, when one wants to sell and one doesn't, that's basically where you would take it to a judge, and the judge would decide what to do with the house at that point. If the parties are unable to reach an agreement either between themselves or through the attorneys or through a mediator, then it would definitely go to a judge who has to make the decision what to do with the marital residence at that point. And if the judge orders it sold, then obviously each party would get 50% of the equity that's owed to them. And that would be the end of it. And if the judge orders it to not be sold, then the individual who keeps it is going to have to pay out the other side their half of the equity. So it really would be left up to a judge at that point if the parties cannot do it themselves.
I know with my divorce, the judge said that I had a year to either put the home back in my name or sell and give 50% of the profit.
Right. And that's typical. Sometimes the judges will do 6 months rather than a year. But yeah, that's exactly what happens when the parties can't agree on what to do with it.
This email says, hi, I am an only child. My mom passed away a couple years ago. I've been told if my dad were to pass, his house would go through probate and there would be a lengthy process to deal with everything. Do we need an attorney to get whatever proper paperwork is necessary so that things aren't such a mess when he's gone? What exactly do we need to have everything in order?
Sure, absolutely. At that point, that's where you want to have a will or a trust in place to cover those issues of what's going to happen when you're gone. So, if you give our office in Pawhuska a call, Perry Newman up there can handle setting up a trust or a will that will take care of all those pesky issues when it comes to, what's going to happen to Dad's house, or what's going to happen to the car, or what's going to happen to this family heirloom, or whatever it may be. So, give us a call and we can definitely help get that in place. But you would want a will or a trust to deal with those issues. And it's end of life planning. And I know that sounds grim and dark and things like that, but it's always good to do it now so that you don't have to worry about it when something actually does happen.
I know the answer is going to be depends, but I'm going to ask a question, and maybe you can shed some light on it. If my father dies, I just assume the house is coming to me. I don't have to go through the court at all.
Well, and that's not the case. I mean, everything should go through probate unless there's a trust in place that bypasses the probate requirements. So, you can just assume it does, but, maybe that's the way it was in the 1940s and 1950s, but, that's not how the law handles it. So you can't just step in and take over somebody's house at that point.
That's a misconception, right? That you just think that you're just going to get the house because the bank really owns the house if it's not paid off.
Right. Exactly. If you don't take care of that issue, then absolutely the bank could foreclose on the house and come in and take it over and kick you out very easily.
Yeah. The things you have shared before about property when someone passes away, it is a giant misconception to think you just get the stuff of your parents when they pass.
Right. And, back in the old days, that's what it was. I mean, and I get why people think that, especially because of, TV and what history has done in the past and things like that. But there are laws in place that affect estates once an individual is gone, and especially if they have, houses and cars and boats and jet skis and, all sorts of stuff. You need to make sure that those are lined out as to what's going to happen with them so that, the bank doesn't come in and foreclose on the house and take it away from you.
Even though he's stuck in Utah, Jeff and the folks at Hensley & Associates are available to help you and deal with your family law scenario. It doesn't matter if it's custody, guardianship, probate, name change, adoption, guardianships, young and old guardianships. The folks at Hensley & Associates can help with all that. And the phone number is 918-398-5692 for Hensley & Associates. Mention KMOD, get a free consultation over the phone. 918-398-5692 for Hensley & Associates. And you guys have expanded your practice, haven't you, recently?
That's right. So, we've got our office in Pawhuska. It's the Shoemake Law Firm. And yes, it's a different name, but it is Hensley Offices. We merely just left the name there that's been there forever. But they do all sorts of other areas. So in addition to family law and criminal law, they can handle anything else you've got, from probate to contracts to if you've been injured in a car wreck, please give us a call. We'd be happy to help you get what you deserve. And then same thing with the medical field. If you've been damaged by somebody in the medical field, we'd be happy to help you with that as well. So give those folks a call up there in Pawhuska at the Shoemake Law Firm, or give us a call in Tulsa and we can get you set up to speak with them. And we'd be happy to help you with those other issues that you stand in need of, for sure.
Hensley & Associates, 918-398-5692, 918-398-5692 for Hensley & Associates. Jeff, safe travels, and we'll see you soon.
All right, thanks, guys. Take care. Have a good week.
You too. We'll take a break, and we'll be back.
Tulsa's Morning Show, the Big Mad Morning
in a household. Now, these are people that are able to do that, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So if you have somebody who's, they don't go, oh, sorry, so they're on a colostomy bag.
It's a sliding scale, essentially.
Of course, it's an average.
Yeah.
Right. If you have only 2 people in a house compared to the house of 6, I think the scale is going to be a little different.
Does this article say how they reach that number for the quota? Is it based on weight and diet and obviously household members, how many people you have in your house?
Sure. It's going to, by the number of people.
Okay.
Depends on how much your quota is.
Strictly on the number of people.
Yeah.
That judges how much you need to craft for this. Okay.
Yeah. what I said was the average.
Right. I was just thinking like, well, they look at a family of 6 and they're like, all right, well, you guys eat X amount a week. So therefore you should be producing X amount of excrement a week. So your quota is X. But I didn't know how it worked out. I guess it's just like you got 6 people. You can make this much poop.
Yeah, you should be able to make this much poop.
Should be able to.
And if not, see your doctor.
The idea that would be a stress in your life.
Yes. What does stress do?
Right.
Stress
binds you up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Question.
Answer.
Would you rather, Gimpy, pay taxes or have to collect poop? Your family's poop.
Pay taxes.
Amen.
Pay taxes, man. I am
Lindsay?
not. Oh.
I think I'd rather collect poop and use it for fertilizer than pay taxes.
You say that the first day.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
You may even say that the second day. But when you're on, let's just say month 6 of collecting your family's excrement.
Oh, I think it's worse than that. The first day the first month, you're not going to meet the quota.
Right. Oh my God. Oh, we can't go too far into this, but things are different for everybody.
Yeah,
and
everybody's
people
movements are different.
Everybody has different kinds. So let's just say you've got a bad flu one week. Flu will put you down for 4 days.
Yeah.
And there ain't nothing solid about a flu.
Or how about this? You're on an antibiotic.
But you can't use that, right? Like it would have to be solid.
Listen, I didn't go deep into this. Sorry.
Right.
I didn't go to the ins and outs of every household and how many people and what antibiotics you were on and what did that have to do with it.
Yeah.
To me, the headline is enough.
Yeah. I'm assuming they just want the solid stuff. And I'm thinking.
Yeah, no,
like,
they want a
Gimpy,
good turd.
You clean up after your ferrets. I clean the cat's litter box. I mean, it's not too much different.
It's completely different. One, you're trained by the animal. The other is
right. We're trained by our parents to do it in a receptacle.
Someone text in, put a colander over the toilet bowl.
Dude,
I'm not
problem solved.
pooping in the same thing that I strain my spaghetti noodles
No,
in.
you buy 2.
Yeah, but you got
got
to clean one, Lindsay. You got to clean one.
Oh, God. And then
Sure.
you get them mixed up because, they're both silver.
One's plastic.
No, plastic absorbs smells.
Gross.
Use that one for your
Yeah,
pasta.
we're getting off. We're getting too far.
Gross. Come on, man.
220 pounds. 220 pounds.
A month. Or is that a year?
A year.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of fertilizer.
I get a bag of salt, and it's like 40-pound bag, right? For the water softener.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And so like 5 of the that's a lot. I get it out of the trunk of the car and I'm like, but to do that with my own feces, family's feces is a whole other ball of wax. Amen, right?
Yeah.
When you think about the things that people go through in other countries, I'm like, can you imagine if somebody ran for office and they were like, hey, we're going to put down the national debt by harvesting our own feces. Listen to the math. There's this many number of us. We can sell it at this much. We'll have this debt wiped out in no time and have a surplus. You'll be sent a bag.
Right, a government bag. That is not the best bag ever. It kind of leaks every now and again.
Y'all couldn't wear a mask.
For real. You want me to crap in a bag every day? Ship it off.
Think about that. We
off.
couldn't get everybody on the same page.
Hey,
with the mask.
Hey, did you crap in your bag today, sir?
Look at that beta crapping in a bag.
Oh my goodness gracious. No, there's other options, man. There's other options. There are plenty of animals on this planet that we could be harvesting. Hey, we do harvest their dookie for fertilizer.
Yeah.
Why do we got to use our own? Is ours, as the human?
Yeah.
Is the human sample that much superior?
I can give you an actual reason why.
Why is that?
Box checked. We need more.
There's not enough crap in this world, which is crap in itself. There's more crap in this world
Yeah.
than we need.
Yeah. most people don't know this, there is a whole subgenre of studying the human feces.
Right.
And to the point where they do fecal transplants to make people healthy.
That was somebody's idea. That was like, guys, that was a meeting. That was a table, a long rectangular table, probably had lunch catered in. Okay. And I've got an idea.
Do the people that study fecal do lunch meetings? No.
Probably not.
No.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
And that office gives a whole new meaning to brown bag lunch. Hey, it's brown bag lunch meeting.
It's brown bag every day.
Brown bag? To me, yeah. Whew. I'll do you one better.
Yeah.
Someone was like, Dad,
yes,
I
son.
don't want to study engineering anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, what were you thinking about getting into for the rest of your life?
I know that it is
very important.
I know that it is a family thing to be into engineering, but I've got to change it. I've got to chase my own dreams. I don't want your life.
I get that, son. I get it. I was an engineer. Your grandpa was an engineer. His dad and grandpa were engineers. I mean, it just seems to fit, but I'm curious, what do you want to do? Let me help you.
Poopy scoop.
Excuse me?
Whoop de scoop de poop.
Did you just say poop?
Scoop de whoop.
And what are you going to do with this poop?
Poop de scoop de whoop.
You're going to scoop it.
Whoopy de scoop whoop
poop. You sure you don't want to be an engineer?
Poop.
Sure we can't guide you into some other field?
Whoop de scoop poop.
You could be a gynecologist if you want.
Poop.
Proctologist, it's close. If that's just what you want to do with your life, I mean, okay, good. I support you 100%.
Poop.
Yeah. Somebody's like, I'm going to be the best poop expert ever.
Yes, absolutely.
How was work today, honey?
Poop. It was the S.
Do not. Because I don't know about you guys, but my wife has friends that she works with, and we go to dinners with them or whatever, and they talk about work. And good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Let's see. I found this list. These are the douchiest quotes from pickup artists.
Okay.
You tell me if they're douchey or not.
Okay.
The only difference between your actions being romantic and creepy is how attractive the other person finds you.
Oh, I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
I don't think it's too douchey. I think it's the truth. Because if you're a good-looking person, right? Say you're a good-looking dude, right? And you go and hit up on, some hot chick or whatever, you're a good-looking dude. She'll give you way more attention than if you're some troll like you or I.
Good-looking by whose standards?
Yeah.
By societal standards.
Well, that doesn't mean you're good-looking, though.
Well, yeah. Yes. You look at Brad Pitt, all right? You look at me like that's a good-looking dude. See what I'm saying? You look at you and I, you're like, average at best.
No, what I'm saying is just because you are societal standards doesn't mean someone should tolerate your over-the-top flirtation or advance.
I think they will.
Girls don't respect guys who buy them drinks. Don't buy meals, drinks, or gifts.
That's not true.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right.
I actually could see this one. I don't know if I agree with it, but I could see this one.
Yeah.
Because girls would see it as just, free drink, sure.
Mm-hmm.
They don't respect it. They just want a free drink. They didn't go, well, he's a nice person. Just saying. With a girl who you are comfortable with and feel entitled to, all that you think about doing in the conversation is how to amplify your own state.
Huh?
That's a douchey thing to say.
Yeah. Girls who are super indecisive people, it's hard wired into them. You have to be dominant, lead them, and tell them what to do.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely douchey.
Yeah. But I agree with it as well.
Like you'd like
I
to be told what to do?
Not necessarily told what to do, but if you're, for example, where would you like to go to dinner tonight? I don't know. I don't care. Where do you want to go to dinner tonight? It would be nice to say, hey, do you feel like in the Raw tonight? I don't really care for sushi tonight. Okay, do you want to go to here for steak? Yes, let's do it. Like give them an option right away.
See, no, that's the same. It's basically the same thing.
Well, hold on. No, that's not indecisiveness. That's actual, you're deciding not to eat sushi.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You said it would be nice if someone just said, what if they just made you go eat sushi?
Right.
That would be leading. That would be like, I'm telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't want sushi. Well,
Too bad you should have picked.
You're kidding it, right?
I live in my reality. You're just a guest.
Douchey.
I've said that many times.
I know you have.
It's the truth.
On more than one occasion, I've had women walk up to me and tell me that they are either loved or hated my goggles. Either way, I would reply, no, you don't. You're attracted to me. I mean, there is a little bit of like bravado that sometimes women are attracted to.
Right.
But bravado and just a one-off douchiness to like yang the moment is not the same as being douchey.
Right.
No.
Right. That whole negging thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you act like she's too important, she'll treat you like you're not important.
Okay. I could see that.
That's the whole nice guys finish last thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're holding them up on a pedestal. Well, they already know how you feel about them. So they just string you along.
When you want them, they don't want you. When you don't want them, they want you.
I think that's just playing games. Stupid. Douchey.
I don't know if it's douchey, but the moment you hit ignore, you suddenly get a lot of attention.
Right.
You suddenly, when you act like you're not available, they suddenly want to know where you're at.
You didn't care 2 days ago when I was, talking to you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
When you were busy.
The whole games thing. Ain't got time.
They're playing groupie, so I'm playing rock star.
Okay. I don't get that one.
Don't get a maybe for an answer. Go for the kiss.
Well, then, can they be misconstrued as like seems
a
awfully
little
rapey?
It's a little aggressive. I was just going to ask, is it a turnoff to ask for a kiss at the end of the night on a date?
Yeah, I think it should just happen naturally.
What's the sign? What's the sign I should be looking for? Because at one point, I'm going to have to be aggressive.
Right.
And I don't mean aggressive like
Handsy.
holding their arms down. I mean aggressive like I'm going to have to go in
Yeah.
and not take no.
Yeah. Well, because there ain't nothing worse than getting cheeked. Oh, God.
I don't agree with that. I think that's fine.
Uh-huh.
The line's clear at that point.
Yeah,
Well,
it
yeah, I
is.
guess you got a point there. It's very defeating as the kisser, I guess, because you're like, you go in, everything's fine, and you cheek. Oh, what the hell?
I think the word that you were looking for about eating at restaurants and all that things is kind of falls into the same word you would use with like kissing on a first date. And that's assertive.
Yeah.
Right? Assertive is like tamer down aggressive.
Right.
Right? Like if I'm going to try and kiss you, I think a girl would rather a guy be assertive.
Right.
Like confident they're going in for the kiss, just like they'd be assertive about restaurant recommendations or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And sometimes I think you talk about those things. So, like, I'm not a kisser on the first date, or, before you actually go on a date.
Yeah.
Sometimes they know ahead of time.
I think you say that when you're not sure.
Mm-hmm.
You'll kiss a guy at a bar, but on a first date, you don't. Get out of town.
Real. Well, I'm just not that type of girl.
Very few have a hard and fast rule. You ever kissed a guy in a bar? Like you met at a bar and kissed him at the bar?
Probably.
I would think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So when girls have that, I don't kiss on the first date, you're like, oh, okay, message received. Friend zone, got it.
Yep. I'll go get you water. See you.
Water.
Okay. Within every woman on this planet, regardless of her education or background, is a bitch, a see you next Tuesday, a slut, a gold digger, a flake, a cheater, a backstabber, a narcissist, and an attention whore.
Boy, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
I don't like that one because you're naming everything.
Exactly.
Of course, just because you are those, that's like going, you have the potential to be a murderer. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone does.
Yeah, of course. That doesn't mean they act on it. That is one's characters, the things they choose to act or not act on. Last one here. Women's instinct told them that having raw dog sex with me was safe. Me, a guy who basically has sex with women for a living. I ended up having a mild panic attack, but eventually that went away and I continued to have the occasional slip.
So the lady said it was okay?
A women's instinct told them that having raw dog sex with me was safe. I'm a guy who basically has sex with women for a living. I don't know if that makes you a gigolo, though, right?
Right.
They continue. Girls are supposedly the more intuitive of our species. But if so many feel right about having sex without a condom, then I must conclude that they don't know S. They're all dirty little whores who truly disgust me with their sex habits. I don't care if she's a lawyer, government worker, or environmentalist. If she lives in a metropolitan city and effed you by the third date, she's a bucket of disease.
Oh,
wow.
God, man.
That's a great insult, man.
Yeah,
That is a throat cutter.
Bucket of
That isn't a
disease.
wound. That is a throat cutter. A bucket of disease.
Yes.
After the third time, right? So on the fourth time, it's okay. You're less bucket of diseasey.
Remember, it's supposed to be
Get outta
douchey, and that is douchey.
That takes the crown.
I don't conclude if a person's a bucket of disease based off their sex they have, or if they have unprotected sex.
No, because you're not there going to the doctor with them if they are going and getting checked up regularly. It's besides, aren't we all adults in this world? I mean, for the most part, for the sake of this conversation.
No.
Are we all adults?
No.
If two consenting adults want to bang it out on the first day, go for it.
Raw dog it?
Yeah. Why the hell not?
Not in this day and age.
It's
What does that mean, Grandma?
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's
sure.
scary.
Yeah.
I think you've been out of the game too long. It's scary.
Ooh.
I think you forget what it's like.
I think that's probably more like it.
I hear you like, hey, I would hope everybody practices safe sex.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, I'd also hope people would hold doors and be nice to people.
That doesn't happen much.
That's the point. That's why I use that as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen. Like someone goes, I've never been with someone. You go, okay, let me use a line you women love to use. I've never done this before. You just believe them.
Lies.
When you're caught up in the moment of emotion, right? Or they're inebriated in some capacity, whether that's by alcohol or just the moment,
Mm-hmm.
you tend to go, well, they smell clean.
Yeah.
You're reasoning on why you would raw dog.
Right.
Because you're that desperate.
Great term. Not that you're desperate. I think, again, you're demeaning it. It's you're caught up in the moment. You're not desperate. Desperate would imply you do the dog to release some stress.
To blow off some steam.
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, listen, it's your life. You do what you want. If you want to get it on the first date, go in raw, have at it. Have at it. Just take care of yourself. That's the way I see it.
If you love playing dangerously, play dangerously.
Yeah.
I don't know what that. I don't know what that. I don't understand all that either. But I know that unfortunately, it is uncomfortable to ask to put a condom on.
Yeah.
It breaks the rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There was a whole Seinfeld episode about it. If you remember, George, ended up losing all momentum because he couldn't get the wrapper open in time.
Yeah. And you look a little weird, like, hold on, I'm going to open the wrapper to save time. They're going to be like, well, that's a lot pretty presumptuous.
Yeah, right. You can't open it up early. All right. So dinner's at 6. I think if I open that up like 8.
Right. Or you get it out of your wallet and set it up. Ah, God.
Right.
And I'm not saying that that's a good reason to not wear a condom. I'm just saying that's the reality.
You slide it over with a check at the end of dinner.
Guys already feel like it's a volatile moment anyway, that they could lose at any second.
Absolutely.
For whatever reason. The wind blows. Their husband comes home. Whatever. Whatever that looks like.
A little hand grabs your toe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. So you don't want to make sure you're doing all you can to not mess up the litter box,
Right.
All right, we got to take a break and we'll be back.
Tulsa's Morning Show.
Them off the island.
Okay, so the horses are suing to stay on the island?
Um,
I'm lost in this weird lawsuit.
yeah, this says a lawsuit brought by two
People. They're like, hey, these horses are ruining our coastline. They need to be moved. And then the horses are like, nay.
they're the plaintiffs, so they are going, hey,
Okay.
we
We represent
So
the
weird.
horses.
here's a question.
Uh-huh.
Free time?
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of free time.
Yes.
Because, if you have enough money, you can call them and go, I want to sue XYZ.
Uh-huh.
But typically, you got to do some research and all those other things that come along with it and then do that.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, as an example, I'm going to sue somebody. Right. And so I've been doing all this research, preparing small claims court. Right.
Mhm.
I'm preparing to do that.
Right.
I didn't just do it. I mean, I could have just done it,
Right.
but I'm trying to do it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but if you have free time, then you can be like,
Yeah, you got all the time in the world.
you go to brunch
Yeah.
and then you're like, hey, these horses are ruining my view. Let's sue and make that like as if the horse wants to leave.
I don't think the horse wants to leave.
I think the others, I don't know. How'd they get there?
That's a good point.
It's
But
an island. So how'd they get there?
I mean, animals run away all the time.
True.
So, I mean, they could have just bounced at any point in time.
Except this is an island.
Right.
Yeah, true.
So unless they built a boat or Noah was available, I don't know how they got there.
Mhm.
Unless, like, maybe the water receded dramatically
Right.
and allowed them to trot a gaggle of them. That's
Yeah.
not the right term.
Mm-mm.
Of them across.
Mhm.
What is it for a lot of?
I think I heard
Okay.
herd of horses.
I just don't want to buy that. I feel like murder and some of these other ones are much better. They could have come up with something that isn't already used by cattle, right? Maybe it is. And so it feels like they didn't just trotted over there at one time.
It's a team.
A team.
A team of horses. I think the same goes for mules too, right? Think about like Borax and 1,000 mule team.
Sure. So
Learn something new. A team of horses.
I feel like the defense attorney is gonna be like, "This is a piece of cake. We'll just ask them.
Right.
We'll put them up. We want to call them as a witness."
I would like to call my first witness, Starlight.
I want to call my first witness, winning streak.
Right. I would like to call my second witness, Mama's little helper. He's a good little horse, aren't you?
Right? I want to call my first witness. I'm with bloat.
Right.
These are actual horse names. I'd like to call my first witness Jesus versus God. Fight.
Oh, jeez.
It's an actual horse name.
Wow.
I'd like to call my second witness Fred. That's the name of a horse.
He's the special one.
Yeah.
I'd call my
Frank.
second witness Hand.
I would like to call to the stand Sugar. Sugar, come on up here.
Oh, God. My next witness, Your Honor, is Whore of the Paddock.
Oh, jeez. That's the troublemaker right there. You watch out for that one.
And after that, I'll have Rumpelstiltskin. These are horses' names. I'm pulling from a list of real horses' names.
Wow. Dog poop being tossed over balconies at apartment complex. This is happening in Largo, Maryland. Residents at one of the Prince George's County apartment complexes have been tossing dog poop over their balconies, and it's creating quite a mess below on the sidewalks. So residents are unhappy, and apparently there's a lot of people that are trying to move into these apartments and instantly turned off because they're stepping on the sidewalks, trying to look at apartments and stepping in poop.
Oh, well, look where you're going.
Right. BB Stokes.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. Lindsay, what'd you learn today?
I learned that Bam Margera left rehab, but just to be safe, the facility will keep his name on the door for the next few weeks. And I also learned that you don't know summer until you spend it brewing bacteria in a jar.
Bacteria in a jar.
Gimpy, what'd you learn today?
I learned sometimes you gotta be aggressive. Now get on your knees. And I also learned, I know when my testicles hurt, it was kidney stones or cancer.
I learned that this show's been a pain in my balls for at least 10 years.
Well, get that checked out, bro.
And I also learned, listen, I'm good looking. You just have to accept my advances. It's Corbin saying, make sure that dishwasher is loaded right.
It's Lindsay. Stop tracking my cycle.
This is Gimpy, and I'm sorry.
Thank you.
It's that easy, man.
Yeah.
Find out who done it, and
Yeah.
then be like, hey, pick up your crap.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's gnarly, dude.
Yeah.
I actually, I will forgive the occasional, I'm not picking up dog poop when you're walking your dog or whatever, right? Right. Overall, you should.
Absolutely.
But you forget a bag, you're in a rush.